Gentlemen, another late game.
Conditions. I know John does not like a wet ball. He grips that ball very tightly, throws it very hard, and when you grip it real tight, sometimes it has a tendency to slip in your hand.
Chiefs are dressed in all white today, except that great red helmet. Elliott's kick is short. It'll be taken by Milburn at the 3, outside the left hash. Wedge set left, 15-20. Milburn turns left, slips a tackle up the left sideline, and then runs into a Chief at the 27-yard line. Darren Anderson covering for the Kansas City Chiefs on the kickoff coverage for the Kansas City Chiefs. The return 24 yards. Now let's give you the starters for the Chiefs defensively. Darren Mickle is still beat up at right defensive end. That means Von Booker is starting this afternoon. Neil Smith, Dan Saliamua, Joe Phillips on the defensive line. George Jamison, outside linebacker left. Tracy Simeon, middle linebacker. Derek Thomas, right side backer. James Hasty in press coverage right as a corner. Left corner is Dale Carter. Washington and Mark Collins are the safeties, and on first down it's a draw play for the Denver Broncos as Tracy Simeon made the tackle, and a rare carry for Aaron Craver, the fullback for Denver.
Let's see if they're going to know they're going to a no-huddle offense, which means defensively you got to stop them because they're going to wear down that defensive line, particularly in the fourth quarter, if they keep the ball alive.
Gain of 4 yards to Craver out of the shotgun. Elway all kinds of time, swings it to the near flat, over to Terrell Davis, the rookie, and his ankle tackled by George Jamison at the 37-yard line. But please remember there's a flag thrown on the play in the Chiefs secondary. John Elway, 1001, 1002, 1003 to throw.
I said, you got to hit him. There was nobody around him. Here's another problem. What about the footing out there? What you do as a defensive lineman like a Neil Smith or a Derek Thomas, how you beat the offensive tackle is quickness. Well, synthetic turf, you're going to get that good start, but on this field, I don't think you're going to, so you've said it. I'm going to tell you something. You give him that kind of time, he is going to just pick you apart.
That penalty is declined. First down.
First down for Denver. A penalty on Kansas City declined by the Broncos. Broncos have 1st and 10 now at their own 38-yard line. Elway out of the shotgun. He's got halfbacks flanking him on the left side and the right side. Draw play to Terrell Davis. Across the 35, across the 40, lowers his shoulder, runs into Washington. And Brian Washington tackles him, but not until he gets to the 48-yard line, gain of 10.
Going right over there at Neil Smith, directly at him. Derek Thomas over there on that side as well. That's too much. You saw no penetration whatsoever from this aggressive defensive front four, which they want to get. They haven't had it yet so far in the game.
Craver and Terrell Davis stay in the backfield. Again, Denver going without a huddle. Terrell Davis, a real story here, a 6th-round draft pick. They fake the draw this time. Elway to throw, all kinds of time. Throws it to Craver, who drops the ball in the left flat. Tracy Simeon covering for Kansas City, but that a drop by Aaron Craver, the fullback who came to this team for the Miami Dolphins.
They're in trouble. Nobody's getting off the line of scrimmage. Dan Saliamua did not even get off the line of scrimmage. Joe Phillips did not either. If you don't get in Elway's face and he sees who to go to, he is going to complete the passes. That one was simply dropped. The guy was wide open. He's had too much time back there. You're counting about 4 seconds before he has to do anything.
13:38 left to go first quarter. The Broncos driving 2nd and 10. At their own 49, Elway takes the shotgun snap from Tom Nalen. Rifles a shot in a quick slant. He's got his man, that is taking the catch, Anthony Miller, down to the Chief 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards and a first down. Covering for the Chiefs was James Hasty, but the quick slant burning Hasty, and Denver moving at will here against Kansas City.
No huddle. They had a man in motion going to the right side. He went back to the left side where Anthony Miller was there, one-on-one with Hasty, and a good throw and a good catch.
Broncos using the no-huddle offense in the shotgun. Davis and Craver in the backfield. Craver gets the call in a draw play. He gets smothered for a loss. At the 41-yard line, Tracy Simeon stuck his nose right in the middle of the play.
He read that play, Mitch, because from the snap he saw the blocking and he took off, shot the gap, was able to get in. That's the first time anybody's got beyond the line of scrimmage for Kansas City. And what happened? They tackled him for a loss. 2nd
down, 11 for the Denver Broncos at the Chief 41-yard line. Davis and Craver stay in the backfield in the shotgun set. Tight end right, the dangerous Shannon Sharp out of the shotgun. And to throw John Elway, all kinds of time, throwing it down the near sideline. Pass is intercepted by Dale Carter. Intercepted at the 12-yard line. And still Elway had all kinds of time. But a pass poorly thrown by Elway. 2nd interception of the year for Dale Carter.
Go back to gripping that ball very tightly. You saw what happened, slipped out of his hand, not an Elway type of a throw. That thing was fluttering down there. He had his man open, had plenty of time to get rid of it. Simply a terrible pass. Kansas City coming up with the turnover, something they needed badly because the Denver offense was really moving on Kansas City's defense.
Only the 4th interception thrown this season by John Elway, and Kansas City stops the Bronco drive. 1st and 10 for Kansas City. At its own 13, Steve Bono, the quarterback, Marcus Allen, and Anders in the backfield. Anders in motion, swinging around behind Bono. Handoff up the middle. Allen trying to get to the outside, does so out left tackle, and he's up to the 20-yard line. And a gain of 7 yards for Kansas City. Elijah Alexander made the tackle.
Will Shields pulling around there. That's where they want to run. Marty said it in the pregame show. Get to the perimeter. In order to do that, somebody has to block that outside guy. Will Shields pulled from his right guard position, pulling to his left and hooked the linebacker. That enabled DeMarcus to jump to the outside and pick up a terrific game.
Ricky Sigler starting at right tackle, but he splits time with Jeff Criswell. They'll both play today. Will Shields, the right guard. Grunhart, the center. Left guard, Dave Zott. Left tackle, John Alt. Split backs behind Bono on 2nd down and 2. Bono sets up on a 7-step drop. Pumps, now throws right side.
Ooh,
pass is incomplete. Thrown into coverage. The intended receiver was Keith Cash, but 3 different Broncos bracketing the play.
You assume he was throwing to Keith Cash. I mean, that was a poor decision on his part. He should have taken off or just thrown that ball away because that easily could have been intercepted. We got a Bronco down on about the 42.
Ray Crockett, the left cornerback, went down. Looks like he turned an ankle on the play. He was one of the 3 Broncos back there defending the pass.
I got it.
Let's go down to Bob Gretz.
Mitch, yeah, you're exactly right. He was. There were 3 Broncos around Keith Cash on that one, and what happened was Cash ran into the linebacker, and Crockett trying to stop because he saw the official there worried about a possible flag, twisted the, looks like his left ankle. I tell you, the footing down here, is not that bad. The one place where it became rather obvious, however, was on the pass rush on the interception, and Neil Smith and Derek Thomas both were tiptoeing around the corner, and they're not going to get too many sacks tiptoeing today.
Bob, I want to ask you this because we've talked about the elements, Len and I have. There's been a lot of discussion about the sod here at Mile High Stadium. The Raiders were complaining they slipped all night long last Monday night. What about the sod and the field conditions?
Well, we've only played, what is it now, not even 5 full minutes, and the middle of this field is already starting to get chewed up. They resodded this whole field. This is a city-owned facility. They called in Chip Toma, of course, from Kansas City, the NFL's now new employee in charge of turf, and brought him in here, and they resodded it. But they also play outdoor soccer here, and that's been a problem as well. And this time of year, you're just not going to get this kind of turf and sod to kind of sink in with the roots that you would get in warmer weather.
3rd down and 2 for Kansas City. Football at its own 20-yard line. 11:58 left to go. First quarter, there's no score. Bono has one back in the formation. It's Marcus Allen. 2 tight ends. Cash left, Walker right. Handoff Allen up the gut. Fighting for yards. Turning. And burning up to the 24-yard line. Looks like a first down for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the guy they've got to handle up there is number 95 when you're going inside the tackles. That would be Michael Dean Perry. And it was only the running ability of Marcus Allen altering his route. He started to the left side. It wasn't there, and he saw an opening to the right and got enough for the first down to continue this drive, which is going to help Kansas City's defense because they're having a tough time getting after John Elway.
Michael Dean Perry, 5-time Pro Bowler, coming over from Cleveland. His mate inside is James Jones, who also was with the Browns. 1st and 10 Chiefs at the 24. Bono back in the pocket, throwing goal wide open. Willie Davis, right side. Davis reaching out and separated from the football. Closing at the end of the play was Tyrone Braxton. Willie Davis was open for 20 yards. Then when the ball arrived, so did Tyrone Braxton of Denver.
There is a type of pass where you don't want air under the ball. You want it to get out there in a hurry because had he gotten out there in a hurry, thrown it on a line, he was so wide open. He'd have made the catch, might have avoided Braxton, and might have scored a touchdown. So that's the type of pass you want to throw on the line.
Marcus Allen comes out of the game. Leroy Thompson in the backfield. Goes in motion to the right. 2nd down. 10 for the Chiefs at their own 24. 11:14 left in the first. No score. Bono takes the snap. Quick pass right. Thompson drops the football through his hands. And it's incomplete.
Put him in motion, went out to the side there. That's a bad throw. I mean, it could have been caught, but you want that ball thrown right at the numbers. So once you make the catch, your feet are not off the ground. You can do something once you make the catch. The object is to get it to him quickly so perhaps he can avoid that cornerback, make him miss the tackle.
And Leroy Thompson's hands were above his helmet to try to reach up and get it. Now Thompson can catch footballs. He had 65 last year receptions as a member of the New England Patriots. Third down and 10 for the Chiefs at their own 24. Crowd roaring here. 3 wide receivers, tight end right. Bono retreats into the pocket, pumping. Throws the right flat, throws it in the dirt. Intended receiver Keith Cash. Closing. Alan Aldridge and Harold Hasselback was rushing for the Denver Broncos.
Bad throw. There's 3 bad throws in a row by Bono. First of all, the one to Willie Davis. He was hanging it up there too high. If he throws that on the line, that's completed. Second one was high to Thompson. That one was down in the dirt. So perhaps this weather is affecting Steve Bono.
Louis Aguiar to punt. He's one of the... Well, he's tied for the lead in the National Football League in punting. He and Lee Johnson of Cincinnati are tied. Chiefs punting from their own 24-yard line. Kick away, a low kick, end-over-end kick, taken on the fly by Milburn at the 27, up the right hash mark, outside the 40, look out here, 45, across the 50, and down to the Chief 46-yard line. Hang time, a paltry 3.03 seconds. 49-yard low punt return, 26 yards.
We talked about special teams, the importance because of field position. An excellent example on that one. Denver enjoys great field position.
And the Broncos will have first and 10 at the Chief 47-yard line. 10:53 left to go first quarter. There's no score. Let's remain here.
You can't kick a line drive kick like that to a guy as quick as Milburn because he gets the ball before anybody's within 10 or 15 yards of him.
Tom Nalen, Mark Schlereth, Brian Habib, Broderick Thompson, an old Kansas Jayhawk at right tackle. Gary Zimmerman, 5-time Pro Bowler at left tackle. Elway to throw on first down. Throws it on the far sideline and overthrowing his intended receiver, Terrell Davis.
You see Elway, what he did? He's looking at his hand because that ball slipped out of his hand again. That one took off on him. Took off on him and flew over to the receiver's head. So we're seeing both quarterbacks having problems with the football.
So what adjustments do you make as a quarterback with the weather?
Well, you can't grip it that tightly. Elway, I think, grips it very tightly.
Tight end right is Shannon Sharp. Craver and Davis in the backfield. They're going to give it on a lead play to Terrell Davis across the 45 and up to the 41-yard line. It is a gain of about 5 yards on 2nd and 10. Mark Collins and Brian Washington register the hit for Kansas City.
I tell you, they're moving the ball on the ground too well against Kansas City. Tracy Simeon was slapping his hands because that's his play. He missed the tackle down there. It could have been a yard gain. Instead, it's at least a 5-yard gain.
Broncos no huddled the last drive. They're huddling on this drive. Why do you think?
Well, just to get on the same page because there are some plays you can't call out there from the shotgun.
Split in left, flanker right, tight end right. Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 5. Elway dumping it off to Shannon Sharp, who drops the football over the middle. Not a good throw. It was down around Shannon Sharp's knees. Collins was covering, but Elway didn't stick it in there, and the Denver Broncos will punt the football from the Chief 41-yard line.
I'm telling you, they escape lightning there, Kansas City, because Elway is off in his throwing down there. Otherwise, they're moving that ball on down into field goal range.
Tom Ruin, averaging 44 yards of punt. He was a great collegiate punter at Colorado. He loves this thin air. 10:08 left to go first quarter. There's no score. Ruin will punt for field position. A high punt that spirals up in the cloudy, rainy sky. Vanover lets it drop. And almost touched the football. Ball almost ricocheted off his back. It was down by Keith Burns at the 9-yard line. Hang time, 4.90 seconds. A punt, 32 yards, kicking for field position. Tom Ruin, Kansas City registering for its second drive of the game. No score, 9:58 in the first.
Vanover's got to learn to get away from it. If you're not going to fair catch it, get away from it. I know what he was doing. He's trying to entice them, to stop because he was down on about the 10-yard line. But once that ball's about to hit the ground, you better get out of there in a hurry.
It's like Jeff Criswell now has moved in to play right tackle for the Chiefs, splitting time with Ricky Sigler. Anders and Allen are in an offset eye behind Bono. First and 10 for the Chiefs at their own 9. Bono takes the snap. Lead play. Marcus Allen has nowhere to go, but does move forward to the 11-yard line. Good penetration by the Denver Broncos.
And who was it? Michael Dean Perry. Did I say something about getting penetration, which is important to stopping the running game and also getting in the quarterback's face? And that's why Michael Dean Perry is so important for the offensive line to make sure he is accounted for, that he doesn't disrupt things back there.
Marty Schottenheimer knows all about Michael Dean Perry. He drafted him, and he played for Marty for a year in Cleveland. Michael Dean's first year in the league was Marty's last year in Cleveland before he came to Kansas City. 2nd and 8 from the 11. Play action fake. Bono slips. Now throws late looking for Dawson. And the pass is broken up by Tyrone Braxton again. Another huge hit on the back of Lake Dawson to force an incompletion.
Lucky it wasn't intercepted. Braxton looked at Steve Bono, saw it all the way, saw where he was looking. Bono brought him right to where the ball was being thrown. He timed that perfectly. And they get a little better pass rush by Denver's front four than compared to Kansas City's front four.
9:18 left in the first. No score. The Chiefs with a precarious position here. 3rd and 8 at their own 11. Bono has 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Baxter split behind him. Tied in the game. Back to throw is Bono, looking to the right side, looking for Dawson, who can't make the catch. Sliding, looking for the football on the right flat. And a pass goes through his hands. Ray Crockett, who was injured earlier, back in the game covering for Denver. The Chiefs had to punt from their own end zone.
And on that particular play, the guy they generally go to is Kimball Anders. He's coming out of the backfield. He slipped and fell, so that eliminated him as a potential pass receiver for Bono. He only had one other guy to go to, and that was Lake Dawson out on the sideline.
You saw that game Monday night like I did. Did you see the Raiders slipping and sliding and falling and everything else in that game?
Yes, and when you start worrying about your shoes, you're in trouble because you're not focusing on the game.
Aguiar to punt 2 yards deep in his own end zone. This punt a little higher, taken by Milburn at the 45. Up the right side on a sprint. 45-40, gets a block, 35. Bayless tries to ankle tackle him. He moves forward to the 30, and then Dale Carter got him. 3.72 hang time. 44-yard punt, 24 yards on the return by Glenn Milburn. The Chiefs are only netting about 20 yards on these punts.
And look at the field position for Elway and company. He hasn't done anything yet, but we know what he is capable of doing. You keep giving him field position like that, he's going to put points on the board.
And the Broncos just keep inching forward with their drive starts. 3rd drive of the game for the Broncos, and this one is at the Kansas City 30. 9 minutes left in the quarter, no score. Broncos threatening. Out of the shotgun, Elway hands it off to Terrell Davis. Lowers his shoulder, can gain but just 2 yards to the 28-yard line. Chiefs clog it up nicely on the near side.
Better job defensively, holding him to about 1 or 2 yard gain on that particular play.
Tracy Simeon made the tackle. He leads the team by far, and here the Broncos, no huddling again.
No huddle again, that's right.
Out of the shotgun, Tom Nail in the center. Back is Elway, takes the snap, fakes the draw. Here comes the rush. Pella McDaniels chasing Craver, makes the catch. Good one-on-one tackle. Derek Thomas in the open field, hitting Aaron Craver for no gain.
There is the key. Marty said it in the pregame show. They have to tackle better. They have to make those open field tackles, because if Derek doesn't make the tackle, that's a first down at least. And they're definitely in field goal range. They're probably in field goal range right now because this kicker's kicked the ball 50 yards or further.
And Chiefs fans will remember Aaron Craver. Last year he played for the Dolphins and cut the Chiefs up. 5 catches on Monday Night Football, 4 catches in the playoffs. Vance Johnson in now for the Broncos. Craver's out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 7 for the Broncos at the Chief 27. Elway, quick slant, and making the low catch was Anthony Miller. Is it a first down? It's very close at the 20-yard line to a first down in front of James Hasty.
What they do is load up the receivers on the right side and give Anthony Miller one-on-one coverage over there on James Hasty, and that little quick slant, which is very, very difficult to break up unless you play that particular play. Now look for it later on where they'll fake that slant in and go deep.
Anthony Miller, his career high against the Chiefs last year in a game at Arrowhead. You know, Elway just kind of discovered him late in the year last year.
He's had so many receivers injured this year that he hasn't had the same core out there all the time.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. This is Terrell Davis again breaking. Mark to the 11-yard line on a draw play. Vaughn Booker saved a touchdown.
There's the tackling once again. Where are the linebackers? Linebackers have to be around there someplace to make that tackle. They're running inside. Linebackers aren't there because they're getting blocked.
Gain of 7 on the draw play. 2nd and 3 for the Broncos at the 13 of the Chiefs. 6:53 left in the first quarter, no score, but the Broncos are staring at the Chiefs' end zone. Out of the shotgun. They're going to run the draw play again to Davis. This time he is hit and stopped by Dan Saliamua. Got through there to make a nice hit to hold him short of a first down, a gain of 2.
There it is, Saliamua making a little penetration, going down the line of scrimmage, being able to make that hit on the ball carrier, but it's a 3rd and short situation, not 3rd and long. That's what you like to have Elway in 3rd and 7 or more, but you don't want him in these situations. I don't think he'll do that quarterback draw because his ankle's bothering him, but he's capable.
Look out for Shannon Sharp here. No, look out for Terrell Davis on a draw play. Got a nice push from his offensive line and powers up to the 10-yard line. This will be close to a first down.
Depends on where the spot is, because the big old bunch of bodies out there didn't move very much.
Vaughn Booker in on the play for Kansas City, as was Keith Trailers out there. Let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Kansas City Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Kansas City's home for classic rock and roll of the 70s and your voice of the Chiefs. 101 KCFX, the Fox.
Mitch Holtis along with Len Dawson, Bill Grigsby, and Bob Gretz. We are a mile above sea level. They stretch the chains. It is a first down for the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chief 10-yard line.
Here is where Elway is very dangerous, and you mentioned the guy's name, Sharp. I've seen him too many times down in this area, and John will go to him. So he has to be accounted for. But that makes it tough when you get into that shotgun formation because the guys are going out right now. Elway gets the ball. He can get rid of it in a hurry.
Let's call it first and goal at the 10-yard line. Elway in the shotgun. Halfbacks flanking him. They fake the draw. Rolling right is Elway. Dumps it off to Shannon Sharp. Touchdown, Denver. Shannon Sharp gets another touchdown. It is his second touchdown of the season. But Shannon Sharp has twice as many catches against the Kansas City Chiefs than any other team.
Did a count for him, and I saw George Jameson trailing him. Went for the bait. And I've said so many times, if you're going to throw down in that area, first down is the one because guys are looking to stop the run, particularly linebackers. All you're looking for is a half a step on that linebacker with the speed of a Sharp, and that's what Elway got, and got him the ball.
Jason Elam will try the point after. Tom Ruin, the punter, is the holder, and the kick is perfect. It's a gray day here in Denver. It's raining. Rain turning to snow later. 5:44 left first quarter. Denver 7, Kansas City nothing. This is the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Jason Elam adds the extra point. It is 7-0.
Well, there you see John Elway. They faked the run left, the play they've been running all this game, and this time he fakes it. Shannon Sharp wide open on the misdirection.
30 yards, 7 plays, 7 points.
10-yard touchdown pass. His 10th of the season, hitting Shannon Sharp at 7-0 Denver.
You talk about field position. Kansas City's had the ball twice, once on their 13 and once on their 9-yard line, so they need better field position to start drives.
Jason Elam with the kick away. Vanover takes it at the 10, right at the center of the field. 20-25. Here he goes up to the 30 and nailed at the 34-yard line. Flag down, however, on the play at the 30-yard line with the Broncos kicked off. And Tamarick Vanover, that walking stick of dynamite for Kansas City, is waiting to light the fuse again. Another short kick. Vanover's going to take it at the 15. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 35. Vanover at the 40. Up the left sideline, 50, 45, 40. Elam bumps him out of bounds. Tamarick Vanover down to the Denver 33-yard line.
Shows the faith Marty has in that return team because they had excellent field position. 48-yard return by Vanover. We're talking about field position, how important it is. Denver has had it so far in the first quarter. Now Kansas City is coming up with great field position, but they must take advantage of it.
How about this? The Jets beat Miami 17-16. The poorest team in Miami now, 3 losses they've had in a row.
Jets beat Miami?
They did.
Oh, no.
What's wrong with Miami? Steve Bono still trying to complete his first pass. He's 0 for 6. But he's got field position. First and 10 at the Broncos 34. Trap play. Anders trying to get outside. Gets a nice block from Cash. Angling right side 30. 25. Crockett finally ropes him down at the 22-yard line.
Well, you mentioned a great block by Cash, but he is down on the 30-yard line. He's had a leg problem here the last few weeks, but that was a terrific one. He just cut that defensive man to the ground.
A 48-yard return by Tamarick Vanover on a kickoff. And now a injury timeout as Cash.
Oh, man, that hurts. That hurts.
Well, he has battled injuries more than anybody on this team.
Because he's a weapon in the passing game.
Jacksonville beat Cleveland today. Another big upset, 23-15. Carolina won their game over New Orleans, 20-3.
Is this April 1st?
I don't know. Halloween's just around the corner. How about those scores, Mitch? Unbelievable.
What is the deal? What's wrong with the Dolphins? That's amazing. Cash hurt, Walker in for the Chiefs. First and 10 after the 12-yard gain by Anders. Back to throw, Bono on first down. Throwing to the near side, pass is tipped and incomplete. Reaching up high, Ray Crockett to knock down the pass intended for Webster Slaughter on the left side of the field.
He's made up his mind. Look right there. Number 32, is he open? Yes, he was open. So he's trying to throw that ball where there's 3 defensive backs back there. Don't force that thing in there. Take the easy one. That was a first down play. Get the ball to Marcus Allen out there on the fringe. Let him run with it.
Now, for 7 weeks, though, we have seen the Chiefs like to throw that check down pass. They like to throw to the backs, but today they're not throwing to him.
Well, you have to throw to the guy that's open. I mean, if there's 3 people around a receiver, he's not the guy to go to.
Second down 10 for the Chiefs at the Bronco 22. 7-0 Denver. 5 minutes left to go first quarter. Bono retreats into the pocket. They want to run the screen near side to Leroy Thompson. Makes the catch, gets a block. Slides forward to the 16. Ankle tackled on the near side by Lionel Washington, the 13-year veteran. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Bob Gretz.
Mitch, they're working on the right shoulder and neck area of Keith Cash. It's the right shoulder and neck areas where they're working on.
That's too bad. He's had leg problems early on, missed some games.
He missed 10
But, I mean,
games.
here's where he's important down here in this area. We saw it with Sharp for the Denver Broncos, how important he is when you get inside that 20-yard line.
Willie Davis out. They put Webster Slider in the left side. Wide to the right side is Lake Dawson. Tight end right, Derek Walker. Split backs on 3rd down and 5 for the Chiefs at the 17. Bono straight back into the pocket. Crossing pattern. Lake Dawson cradles it in at the 10. Moves inside the 5. He's pushed out of bounds by Ray Crockett at the 3-yard line. First and goal to go. Chiefs at the Denver 3.
And good pass protection. They had a blitz on. The linebacker came. The back was able to pick him up, buying time for Steve Bono to let Lake Dawson run across the field. Had he gotten it out in front of him, too, he catches it in stride, he may have gotten into the end zone. But here it is, a 3rd down play, coming up with the first down. That's the important thing.
You bring up an outstanding point, because I'm not sure we've talked about it enough. The Chiefs right now have turned into maybe the NFL's best pass protectors. They've only given up something like 9 sacks all year.
I'll tell you what you got back there. You got Marcus Allen, and he is one heck of a blocker back there. You're as a quarterback, you don't care if the linebackers come because you know he's going to pick them up.
Timeout on the field. Chiefs call timeout. 3:58 left to go first quarter. 7-0 Denver. Chiefs are threatening.
Lake Dawson did a good job of picking his man and getting wide open.
Crossing routes take time.
Yes, they do. Against man coverage, you need time. Bono got it there. That's why he was wide open.
Kansas City does not have the right personnel on the field, so Bono will spend a timeout. 3:58 left opening quarter. Chiefs trying to tie it up.
Mile High Stadium. 3:58 remains first quarter. These two old AFC rivals battering away at each other. 7-0 Denver, but Kansas City has first down and goal to go at the Denver 3-yard line. In for a blocking back, Tony Richardson is the fullback in front of Marcus Allen. Handoff Allen up the middle, trying to plow to the goal line, and he is stopped short. Dave Wyman, the middle linebacker, stuck his head into the numbers of Marcus Allen to hold him short of the goal line.
There was a little bit of movement, but not much of that, and that was just a straight-ahead play, hoping that Marcus would get in there. He didn't jump that time. I think now, the next time if he gets that close, because he's closer to the goal line right now, as I take a look at it, they are inside the 1-yard line, so this is the leaping time. Get your best leaper out there and try to leap over that pile.
Well, he's one of the best there's ever been. They're leaping or pushing. It's like Keith Cash is back in the game. They line up 2 tight ends on the right side. Play action fake Bono. Rolling to the right side. He's going to tuck the football and run it. Touchdown, Kansas City. Steve Bono with a John Elway impersonation. Runs it into the end zone. His second rushing touchdown of the season.
So now he has the longest touchdown run and the shortest one.
Touchdown.
76 yards, and that was about a half yard. Good decision on Steve's part because he was looking for Richardson out in the flat. 2 guys were all over him. No one was there to pick up Steve Bono. Good decision on his part, getting a touchdown when they got good field position.
People kid about his speed, but his feet are so good, he's a running threat. They kidded about him, but in short yardage situations, he's not unlike Elway in the fact that he can take it and run it. Anlin Elliott's kick is up. It's good. This game is tied. The Chiefs answer the Broncos' touchdown drive with one of their own. 7-7 Chiefs and Broncos.
One of the things that Marcus Allen does for this team, everyone knows that they want to get him his 100th touchdown, correct?
Right.
So Marcus is out in the pattern. He's downfield, and Bono takes a look. He said, "Wait a minute. There's absolutely no orange shirts."
Yeah, we see this play last week. We saw the exact same play almost. Steve Bono walks into the end zone.
3:31 remains first quarter. 7-7 tie. This game, Len Dawson's the anthology of the short field. It's 100 yards long, but it helps when you only have to go 30.
Absolutely right. You know, the worst field position for Denver's been on their own 31-yard line on the opening kickoff. So hopefully the kickoff team for Kansas City can pin them back there.
6-play, 34-yard drive. Steve Bono from 1 yard out on a run.
There it is.
This kick backs up Milburn 5 yards deep. He thought about coming out, and then Rod Smith, who's a first-year player, said, "Why don't you hang right here?"
That's right.
It's coming out to the 20-yard line.
So they're improving then. If that kickoff went into the end zone, there's where is decision time. It's like 4 or 5 yards deep. Somebody's got to make a decision back there. I think it was the right decision for Denver to ground it, because most of the time you never get back to the 20-yard line.
Sometimes these games are forgotten plays. How about the offside on Denver, making him kick again, and Tamarik Vanover gets a 48-yard return.
Now let's see what that defense for Kansas City can do. See if they can figure out that offense and get some penetration.
Aaron Craver, Terrell Davis are in the backfield with Elway. He's in the shotgun formation again. Tom Nalen will snap it to him. Receivers right and left. They hand it off to Davis, trying the right side, and then runs into the clutches of Neil Smith at the 21-yard line and gains just a yard.
With those big old long arms are an advantage, aren't they? Because he was pounding on Sharp, who was at the tight end, and was able to throw him aside and reach out there and grab the ball carrier. Another Bronco receiver, McCaffrey's coming off, limping to the sideline.
Ed McCaffrey, they picked him up from San Francisco, played for the world champions last year. Without a huddle, Elway slips a fake to the handoff, now throws to Craver in the left flat and throws it incomplete. Craver was open. Elway pumped once, twice, and then threw it incomplete. Covering for the Chiefs in the right flat was strong safety Brian Washington and James Hasty.
The weather is affecting John Elway. That ball was only thrown about, 10 yards? And he missed the receiver. He has been off throwing the ball, so it looks like the wet football is bothering John Elway much more than Steve Bono.
2:52 left to go, first quarter, 7-7 tie, the Broncos. Take Aaron Craver out of the game and put Vance Johnson in. 3 wide receivers, and Shannon Sharp, who is a wide receiver, or a tight end and a wide receiver bodies in a 3-point stance on the right side. Out of the shotgun, 3 wide set. Retreating is Elway. Ball in his right hand. Cocks it, throws over the middle, wide open. Anthony Miller, 35-40, breaks 2 tackles and gets up to the 43-yard line. It is a gain of 21 yards and a first down for Denver. Washington and William White make the hit for Kansas City.
Now, was he open or what? And one of the things is, if you don't get up in the face of a quarterback and he can see downfield, he's going to pick up that guy that is wide open. So Kansas City still has not put any pressure whatsoever on John Elway.
Broncos now 3 of 4 on third down conversions. You mentioned pressure up the middle is primary importance against Elway.
Absolutely, because if he can see, he's got that gun on his shoulder, that he can throw that ball. We've seen it too many times up here. If he can see where the defense is and who to throw the ball to, he's going to get it to him.
Timeout called by Denver. 2:07 left to go first quarter. The game tied at 7. You're listening to the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Has this update.
All right, Dick, out in Oakland, the Indianapolis Colts took a 3-0 lead on a field goal. This is the kickoff following. Remember, the Raiders didn't score a point on Monday night. Not today. Napoleon Kaufman, 82 yards with the return. They're underway in the second quarter now. The Raiders have the lead on Indianapolis. It's 7-3, Dick.
Napoleon Kaufman with a kickoff return for touchdown, the former University of Washington star. Marty Schottenheimer. The Chiefs had lost 11 in a row here in Denver. The nemesis for Schottenheimer, even before he went to Kansas City, when he was in Cleveland, number 7, John Elway. And John told us that even on the golf course, he gets lucky against Schottenheimer.
18th hole, he needs to chip in to win. And what's he do? He chips in to beat Marty. Marty says, "What's new?"
Well, and Marty Schottenheimer, since he's gone to Kansas City, he's been building the franchise. Victories, the muscles of wins. His career record, including Cleveland, 109. The only shortcoming, Elway. Against Elway, 4-11. And if you really want that sinking feeling, remember those 2 AFC championship games.
I tell you, Paul, if I took a needle on you, would that do the same effect?
Same thing. Go. Bart Starr, George Hallis gave the old Chicago Bear coach fits. Elway and Schottenheimer. Bradshaw loved to pick on old bum Bobby Lane against the great Paul Brown and the Browns. And Starr, Landry only got him once. Starr got 2 of them, didn't he? Yeah.
Back here in Denver, Colorado, the Broncos and Chiefs tied 7-7. The Broncos have first and 10 at their own 44. Terrell Davis alone setback. 3 wide receivers. And out of the shotgun set, Elway dumps it over the middle, and the pass is broken up. Mark Collins with a monster hit on Terrell Davis to force the incompletion.
Did he play that play? He saw it all the way, got a run of about 5 yards. Just as the ball got there, he unloaded on the running back coming out of the backfield. There's one way to stop the passing game, and that is to nail the receiver as the ball gets to him.
And Denver going without a huddle. And they've done this about 60% of the time. Sometimes they'll huddle, sometimes they won't. Davis stays in. They stay with 3 wide receivers. Shannon Sharp at a tight end right. Chiefs with 6 defensive backs to throw Elway. Crossing pattern finds Davis. He's spun to the ground with a good open field tackle by Anthony Davis. And a flag is thrown as Neil Smith hit John Elway late. Let's go to Bob Gratz.
I'll tell you what happened, Mitch. Neil had a head of steam. Elway got rid of the ball, and Neil went for his legs. He went at his knees. That's a no-no. That's as close to a cheap shot as I think I've ever seen Neil give.
Roughing the passer, number 90. 15 yards.
Makes no sense. I mean, you hadn't gotten close to Elway in the ball game so far. You have to know that he got rid of the football. And you know you can't do it. If the referee is standing right there, and his job is protect that quarterback.
Chiefs had a twist going on, meaning Smith, who lines up on the outside, moved to the inside, and Joe Phillips wheeled around him to the outside. He went low, as Bob Gretz told you, took the knees out from Elway, and it was a penalty. Hand off to Davis. He's got nowhere to go. Anthony Davis grabs onto his knee and his calf and takes him down for a loss. Back at the 40-yard line, a loss of 2.
He guessed right. Before the ball was snapped, he was going to be shooting the gap. He shot the gap, and that's exactly where the ball carrier was running. Had the ball carrier going the other way, that would have been insignificant. But a good play by Davis.
3 wide receivers. They all can play. Vance Davis, Ed McCaffrey, and Anthony Miller. Tossed to the near side to Davis. At the 40, 35, flags down, and Davis is up to the Chief 24-yard line. But please remember, there's a flag down. Anthony Davis made the tackle downfield at the 24-yard line. Again, of 15 yards, it may be coming back. Red Cashin.
Well, Neil Smith is doing a lot of yakking to the sidelines of the Denver Broncos over there. So he's saying that he was the one that was held on the play. But let's let the official, let Red tell us all about it. Holding. Denver, big break for Kansas City. And it had to be something because there was nobody out there defensively. I mean, they chopped everybody down.
Chiefs are playing with a dime package here primarily. Now let's see what they've got out there now. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Sharp.
5.
They called Sharp for holding.
5 defensive backs for Kansas City. Anthony Davis out there as well as a linebacker for the Chiefs. Now Darren Anderson comes in. Martin Bayless will leave. Actually, there's 6 defensive backs. So Chiefs are going there with a base dime
second
package.
along with Elway, and he's in that shotgun formation. You got to anticipate that 90% of the time he's going to throw the ball.
Dime package, 2:23, or 2nd and 23, I should say. Football right at midfield for Denver. 7-7 tie, a minute left in the first quarter. To throw Elway. Here comes the rush from the outside. Throws for Sharp. Passes low, incomplete. Sharp had a man right on him, Darren Anderson. The pass down at his ankles. He could not grab it and haul it in.
I tell you, they got the not Neil Smith, but Derek Thomas putting a little pressure from the outside on that one. Another bad pass by John Elway. And that one, they had a zone defense, but they had Darren Anderson playing man-to-man on Sharp. And that's a pretty good thing to do because that's the guy that Elway will look to in particularly third down situations.
Also, there was a middle rush from Sally Amua that time.
They're giving Sally Amua some breathing room. They had Traylor in there earlier to relieve him.
3rd and 23 at the 50-yard line out of the shotgun.
Offsides Denver. So that'll be another 5-yard penalty.
Flags all over the place here. Now I want to ask you about this. When they go to 3 wide receivers.
Look at Elway. See him?
Yeah.
Doing with the ball because he's concerned. He's wiping the ball because it's wet. He's got his attention.
5 yards to third down.
Brian Habib will be called for the penalty and will back up the Broncos 5 more yards. I want to ask you about this because I saw it on Monday night. They sent a lot of people out on patterns because Sharp, who that time stayed in to block, will go out too. That only leaves those 5 offensive linemen to block. And it doesn't seem like it's enough protection against the Chiefs' rushers.
Well, it has been so far because Kansas City really, you can't afford to blitz because with all those receivers spread out all over the field.
They're spread out again. 3 wide receivers. Tight end right, Sharp. Single back is Terrell Davis. Out of the shotgun. Elway with time. Lofts it over the middle. He's got Anthony Miller at the 40. Stretching forward. He's up to the Chief 36-yard line, but about 9 yards short of a first down. James Hasty made a nice sure tackle on Anthony Miller, again of 14 yards.
And not a good throw. The ball is bothering John Elway. That thing was kind of floating out there. You know, we've seen Elway. He throws bullets. And that thing was kind of wobbling down there.
See if the Broncos will try a field goal. They will. Jason Elam on to try.
What Kansas City needs is some more rain here, Mitch.
A field goal.
Get some more rain so that Elway will be more concerned.
This will be a 54-yard try. Let's call it 53 yards. Now, Elam's longest in his career is 54 yards. He had a 52-yarder, and it's going to be a fake field goal. They snap it back to Elam. He tries to corner kick it on the far side. A little trickery from head coach Mike Shanahan and the Denver Broncos. A direct snap to the kicker, Jason Elam, who lined up for a 53-yard field goal. It goes as a 24-yard punt out of bounds at the 19-yard line, so almost the same thing as a touchback.
Didn't kick it very well. Good thought. Didn't kick it very well, though. Because had they tried the field goal and missed it, then they bring it back to the spot. But where it was in Kansas City would have enjoyed a lot better field position. The last time they had it on the 34-yard line of the Denver Broncos, got a touchdown. Now this time they got to travel 81 yards to get into the end zone.
3 seconds left to go first quarter. The final play of the first quarter coming up here. Keith Cash was injured earlier, back in, comes in motion to the near side. Running play, Greg Hill. And he gets smothered for a loss at the 17. Try to sweep left. That's the final play of the first quarter. The game is tied 7-7, Chiefs and Broncos.
And that's the end of the first quarter in Denver. Second quarter tied at 7. Steve Bono, age 33. After 10 years as a backup, his first season as a starter from the opening bell. Comparing his first 7 games with Super Joe Montana.
Expecting a lot of snow here, maybe by the end of this game.
So I said earlier that maybe some rain would help Kansas City because Elway seemingly is bothered by a wet football.
What about the passing of these two guys?
2 of 9 for 19 yards for Bono.
Kansas City switching both tight ends to the right side, and Denver has to adjust to the shift. The throw is Bono. Has pressure, dumps it off, finds Walker leaking out of the line of scrimmage and up to the 20-yard line and gains only a couple yards. Elijah Alexander, the old K-Stater, makes the hit for the Denver Broncos.
Well, Derek Walker's kind of tippy-toeing, wasn't he? It looks like that there are some people out there very unsure of their footing because generally you make that catch, you turn and you rip upfield hoping to break a tackle. Because the pass was only thrown for about 2 yards.
Do you think that was the same with Greg Hill on the last play?
I do so. When he was running, it looked like he was very hesitant to really make a cut.
Well, if anybody saw the game on Monday night, they know that the Raiders were reacting the same way. 3 wide receivers for the Chiefs. Tight end right Walker means there's only one setback to the left of Bono on 3rd and 9 from his own 20. Lofting a long bomb. A Bono bombed up the left side. Vanover reaches up and grabs it up the left sideline. 30. Ankle tackle at the 23-yard line. Tamarick Vanover with some Rookie of the Year plays for Kansas City. 55-yard pass. Just took it away from the Denver defender.
That shows you the strength and the athletic ability of him. He's about 210 pounds, and it's all muscle, able to muscle the ball away from the defensive back. What a big play by Kansas City, and Vanover on that one. He not only does it on the returns, kickoff and punt returns, but that one as well. Almost broke it. Who was that? That Braxton that finally made the stop on him. He doesn't make the tackle around the ankles. That's a touchdown.
Tamarick Vanover has become about as important as anybody to this football team right now offensively. Maybe other than Marcus Allen. Handoff up the left hash mark to Greg Hill. He got turned sideways with a pop by Dave Wyman, who's an animal at middle linebacker.
I'm telling you, he hit him, and when he hit Hill went backwards. The good news is he held on to the football.
Tamarick Vanover now has become the biggest weapon on this football team offensively other than Marcus Allen. How important has he become?
I tell you, he just took it away from him. That's well, to a quarterback to know when you throw that ball up there in man-to-man coverage that your guy has a better chance of coming down with it than the defensive team.
Gain of just a yard. 2nd and 9 Chiefs at the Denver 21. 7-7 tie. 12:50 in the second. Bono 5-step drop. Fires it over to LeRae Thompson. Over the center of the field. Leaking out of the backfield. He's just to the 19. Just a gain of 2. Wide. Dave Wyman there again.
Good play. He had Kimball Anders on the flat on the right side, and then he had Thompson coming across the middle. Decided to go to him, got him the ball, but a good tackle. There I go back to making open field tackles and how important it is. If Wyman doesn't make the tackle, that's a first down.
Dave Wyman, Len, has been in the news this week. Why? He hit the shot on Hostetler on Monday night, which knocked him out of this week's game.
Yeah, but NBC said it wasn't him, it was somebody else that made the actual hit.
Whoa, Wyman got kicked out of the game for it. 3rd down and 7. At the 19-yard line of Denver. 7-7 tie. 12:09 left in the first half. Davis in motion. Out of the right slot. The throw, Bono. Still screen pass right to Anders. Has a blocker in front of him. Flag down as Anders is swung out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Ray Crockett, who's been good defensively for the Denver Broncos, coming up and thwarting the screen pass for just a 3-yard gain. But a flag was thrown in the Denver secondary.
Could be pushing against Kansas City. They do not run screen passes very well. I mean, they get guys out there in front of the ball carrier, and they don't seem to hit anybody. That is a deadly weapon. You get two big offensive linemen out there, and the ball carrier behind them. The ball carrier, first of all, has to set up the blocks for them, but they got to make that hit. Get that first guy that's coming up to make the tackle.
All year long, Steve Bono, who's had a great year really throwing the football for the most part. He's got 14 touchdown passes, now 15 for the season. That leads the NFL. But we've seen him be hot, and we've seen him be cold.
Well, he's 5 for 5 for the last ones for 81 yards, and he started off, 2 for 9 there for a while. Denver refusing the penalty to put Kansas City in a 4th down situation to go for a field goal.
And Lynn Elliott will try a 35-yard field goal. Aguiar will place the football down at the 25. Lynn Elliott this season 11 of 13. He's 1 of 1 from this distance this year. Placement is down. Elliott swings the kick up, and the kick is up and no good. Lynn Elliott misses it wide to the left side. Timeout on the field. The Chiefs drive but cannot score. 7-7 Chiefs and Broncos. 11:51 in the second. You're listening to the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Hooks it sharply left, so Vanover's 57-yard catch goes for naught. It remains tied.
Is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and have Domino's deliver the ultimate deep dish pizza by halftime. Because when it's gotta be deep, it's gotta be Domino's.
So Denver dodges a bullet. They have 1st and 10. And where the kick was missed, the 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers, tight end right, handoff Terrell Davis up across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And a gain of 7 yards on 1st down. Now let's take this opportunity to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
101 KCFX, Harrisonville, Kansas City. Your radio home of the Chiefs and classic rock and roll of the 70s.
Mitch Holthus and Len Dawson in Denver gain of 7 on a run.
Well, that's because 6 defensive backs in there. The linebackers are not in there except for Anderson or Davis.
Chiefs stay with that same defensive group on 2nd down and 4th at 32. They try to go to the right side. Terrell Davis and Neil Smith and Brian Washington collar him to the ground at the 34-yard line, a yard short of a 1st down.
You know, Anthony Davis, I'm back here a while ago when he blitzed and he guessed right. That time he blitzed, but they went the other way, so he was not a factor on it. But I go back to the linebackers. Simeon is not in there, and Jameson was not in there on that particular play. So when you run with the ball, you got defensive backs playing as linebackers, and it's easier for those big offensive linemen to block them.
Chiefs go back to their conventional defense with 3 linebackers out there because the Broncos have 3rd and 1 at their own 35. Elway, handoff to Davis. He gets engulfed by Tracy Simeon, who blasts him for a loss of 1, and Denver has to punt and not being able to convert on 3rd and 1.
There's exactly what I was talking about linebackers. You have Tracy Simeon, about 250 pounds, as opposed to Martin Bayless and an Anthony Davis. So what you had back there, you had the big linebackers, and that time Tracy Simeon guessed right. He saw the play coming, he had to get that penetration. Nobody was blocking him and make the stop.
And Denver's not to be confused with the Dallas Cowboys in their ability to run the football. They're a good passing team. They did not run it all that well. Ruin angles a kick to the near side. A flag is thrown, and the ball rolls out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Now, the flag was thrown back where the Chiefs returned the punt. Hang time 3.67 seconds. 48-yard punt, but look where Ruin punted it. Away from Tamarick Vanover to the boundary.
Absolutely. I wouldn't kick it to him either. What would the flag be doing down there?
You know what? Usually too many men on the field or that sort of thing is where the flag is thrown at that point. The side judge is up talking.
They're pointing against the Broncos. Maybe that's it. Maybe they had 12 guys out there. Get better coverage with 12 people as opposed to 11.
And Marty may make him punt this thing again.
Yeah, he wants Vanover to get his hands on the ball. With him back there, you're better off to kick a lousy punt and hope that the thing rolls once it hits the ground toward the Chiefs' goal line.
See if Red Cashin will give the explanation here. Let's go to Bob Gretz.
Mitch, Michael Dean Perry is on the field. In fact, he just picked up the flag. He walked over to Tamarick Vanover and...
Number 21, failure to get within the numbers. 5 yards, still 4th down.
They ran on a guy late, it appears.
Yeah, Perry walked over. I could read his lips. He said to Tamarick, go tell Marty to not take the penalty. And Tamarick just looked at him.
Well, what's going on? What's it like here in the National Football League? What's going on here?
Well, so Mark Vanover is letting people know he's in this league now. Ruin takes the bell tie snap, gets the kick away. This kick will be returned. It'll be taken by Vanover at the 25. Once a right return, he's at the 30. Oh, he got smoked at the 32-yard line. Flag is thrown as about 4 different Broncos. The first man there, Ray Jacobs, for Denver. About a 4-yard return that time. 3.81 hang time, 46-yard punt, and 7 yards on the return. Now it may be a face mask on Denver. No, they're saying it's on Kansas City.
Yes, he did indeed get the attention of the Denver Broncos. They were flying down the field.
Illegal block in the back will be called against the Kansas City Chiefs on the punt return.
Sometimes the guy just turns his back on you, and you can't avoid that. But most of the time, it's a decision you make as to whether to throw the block. If you're not positive, you don't throw the block.
Number 50 by the receivers.
Anthony Davis.
First down and 10 at the timeout.
Timeout on the field. 9:46 remains in the first half. It's 7-7, the Chiefs and Broncos in another AFC West battle.
You're watching the NFL on NBC.
Brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By Sealy, posturepedic support only from Sealy. And by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement.
I don't know what it's doing weather-wise and where you're listening to this game and the environs of our great network, but it is lousy weather here. We have rain that is turning to snow. Kind of some light snow here in Denver. 9:46 left in the first half. 7-7 tie. Hill in motion left. Leaving Anders the only setback. Bono rifles a pass to the near side. Caught by Willie Davis. Sliding to a catch at his own 32 for a gain of 10 in front of the covering Ray Crockett of Denver.
7 straight passes completed by Bono, and he's moved it around to 5 different receivers. Kansas City not being able to run the ball very well. 28 yards on 8 carries, so neither team doing much. Really overall, as far as total yards, 110 for Kansas City, 111 for the Broncos.
That's the one thing I'll say about the Chiefs. If you're out there, they're going to throw it to you. Everybody gets in on the act in this offense. In motion left, Willie Davis. Offset eye. 2nd and 1 from the 32. Greg Hill with the call. Gets a nice push up to the 35-yard line. Now, Michael Dean Perry has been blocked by the Chiefs today. Bob, Michael Dean's not getting a little grouchy down there, is he?
No, I'll tell you what, that's the first tackle he's been involved in. He got in on that tackle. I'll tell you, the inside trio of Zod, Shields, and Grunhard at the center are turning him every which way. And the other factor here is this turf. The effect, I think, in this game is on the pass rushers. Michael Dean, like Neal and Derek, is tiptoeing out there in pass rush situations.
First down for the Chiefs from their own 35. It's a 7-7 tie. Steve Bono, who's been hot here in this second quarter. The crowd a factor here as Bono changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He's in trouble. He'll be sacked. A rare sack by a Chief opponent. Back at the 32-yard line, a loss of 3.
You're talking about Michael Dean Perry and who was right there in his face, number 95. Michael Dean Perry. Terrific ball players. You may slow them down for a while, but you're not going to completely stop them. That time trying to throw the ball and lose a couple of yards on the play. Bono did the wise thing, though. He put that thing under his arm, make sure he didn't turn it over. One thing they can ill afford down here now is turn the ball over for Denver.
Will Shields was trying to block him but could not, and Michael Dean Perry disrupted the play. 2nd down, 13, loss of 3. 32, 8 minutes left in the half. Bono fakes a handoff to throw left side wide open. Derek Walker at the 40, up the left sideline, 45. It's a Chief first down at their own 49-yard line. It's a gain of 17. The middle linebacker, Dave Wyman, ran him out of bounds.
Good pass protection that time. They doubled up on Michael Dean Perry on that play, making sure he didn't get back there. Also, we had Willie Davis coming across the field, so Bono had 2 people. Yet Davis was open, and so was Derek Walker.
Bono seems to be real streaky. We saw it really through preseason, through the whole season. When he gets going...
He's going now. He's on a roll right now. I think that's 8 in a row.
He's got his guns ablazing now. 7-7 tie. Second quarter, 7:35 left to go in the half. Handoff. It's a razzle-dazzle play. Allen back to Bono, and he throws it at the middle. It's dropped by Lake Dawson at the 32-yard line. A flea flicker for Kansas City. A flea flicker for the Chiefs. A handoff to Allen, who flicked it back to Bono. And a wide-open Lake Dawson drops the ball at the Bronco 32.
I want to know, why would somebody jump up in the air when the ball is coming down around by the numbers? You don't do that. You make the catch. You concentrate, make the catch in your hands, but he left his feet when he didn't have to. As a receiver, you never leave your feet unless you have to, because when you're in the air, you can't make any cuts.
Second down and 10 for the Chiefs after the flea flicker. Incomplete. Now they have the ball at their own 49. And it's a lead play to Greg Hill, who breaks a tackle at the 50, moves up to 45, still on his feet and fights to the Bronco 44-yard line. Excellent run by Greg Hill to pick up 7 and give the Chiefs third down and short.
He was in the grasp of the defensive lineman in the backfield about 3 yards deep, and that's what I'm talking about, making up your mind and fighting through it, because he did exactly that and got upfield. Instead of taking about a 4-yard loss, he picked up about 7 yards.
Simon Fletcher made the tackle along with Steve Atwater. We haven't called Steve Atwater's name much today. And the Chiefs have third down and 2 at the Bronco 43-yard line. Bono, trap play. Anders trying to get to the outside. He is nailed short of a first down. It gained a yard.
Couldn't do that. The linebacker got great penetration. Aldridge, number 57. He had Sigler coming down there trying to pull and get a block, but Aldridge was the guy that completely disrupted the play because he was about 4 yards deep in the backfield.
James Jones also helping Aldridge along with Dave Wyman. There are so many free agents on this Denver defense, I can't tell you about all of them. 9 free agents.
Fourth down.
Fourth down and a yard for the Chiefs at the Bronco 42, and Marty Schottenheimer saying go for it.
40's down to 10 seconds on the clock, so they're going to call timeout.
Timeout on the field, 6:12 left to go first half. The Chiefs 7, the Broncos 7. You're listening to Chiefs football.
4th and 1, a long one.
The team that has had the biggest home field advantage in the National Football League over the last 15 years, the Denver Broncos, trying to use this crowd to their advantage. 4th down and 1 for the Chiefs at the Denver 42-yard line. 6:12 left in the half. It's a 7-7 tie. Chiefs I formation set. Valerio, and there's an extra blocker left. Cash in motion left side. Marcus Allen the tailback. Richardson in motion to the near side.
They're trying to
count by Bono, trying to draw Denver off. Now Marcus Allen goes in motion to the left side. 2 seconds on the play clock, 1 second, and it's delay of game on Kansas City. Denver held the fort. Denver stayed put. Kansas City was trying to draw him off, and now the punt team will run on and play for field position.
The only thing wrong with that whole scenario there is they called a timeout to try to do that. Not that, why not try to do that? They could possibly do it. But Denver stayed right there.
Chiefs have 1 timeout remaining.
I'll tell you another guy who's good at that, and that's John Elway, number 7. Does a terrific job with that hard count when he'll begin a hut, and hook.
Louis Agger to punt. Now, Louis has boom punts all year long. We mentioned he is tied with Lee Johnson of the Bengals for the National Football League lead, but here he needs to angle one and try to play for field position. He angles it to the left side of the field. Milburn vacates the area, and Darren Anderson can't catch up with it. It goes into the 20-yard line. Or goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, but a flag was thrown. I believe the flyer on the far side for Kansas City, which would have been Darren Anderson, I believe, was jumping off. It'll be a illegal procedure penalty on the Chiefs. 4.51 hang time, but that's not what the Chiefs wanted. In fact, the Broncos may decline this.
No, he wanted to kick it out of bounds.
That penalty is declined. It'll be a touchback, 1st and 10. That's a timeout.
Red Cashin calls timeout. 6:03 left to go. In the first half, it's a 7-7 tie. It's week 8 in the National Football League, and what a better place to go than to the Prince of Parkville, Bill Grigsby, for this NFL update. Denver, Oakland, 1st and 10 for the Denver Broncos. 7-7 tie. 6:03 left to go first half. John Elway has Craver and Davis flanking him in the shotgun. Davis sweep to the near side. A block on Hasty, and Davis lowers the shoulder and powers forward for 9 yards to the 29-yard line. Derek Thomas eventually made the tackle.
Derek Thomas, is he hurting as I see him going back to the huddle?
Yes, he is. He's down on a knee now, Len.
Yeah, I think that he did something. He's hurting.
Let's go to Bob Gretz.
Mitch had 2 Pro Bowlers hurt on that play. Shannon Sharp limping off as well. Derek was grabbing at the right ankle. Of course, he's had the knee problems. They're going to walk him off the field here. He doesn't look like he's too bad, but had 2.
It looks like his shoulder's leaning over there.
Yeah, he is kind of listing to the right. There's no doubt about that, Leonard.
Listing.
Go back to tackling. That was not good tackling. You know, they should have had him before he got 9 yards on that play.
Last time I saw something listing, it was the Edmund Fitzgerald when Griggs and I were coming in with Captain D to the Browns game. we were listing that night.
Well, I'd have to say there are a couple of times in my life I have listed.
Red Cashin. And guys, this snow is starting to get a little more of a factor. Kind of a combination drizzle and snow, and It doesn't seem to be improving.
And the field will get sloppier and sloppier, making it more and more difficult to react defensively to, say, a wide receiver's move.
2nd down and 1 is the down and distance. The ball location at 29 for Denver at their own 29. It's a 7-7 tie. Broncos scored in the first quarter. An Elway 10-yard pass to Shannon Sharp. And the Chiefs answered a 1-yard run by Steve Bono. Set up by a long kickoff return by Tamarik Vanover. In the slot left, Ed McCaffrey in short sleeves goes in motion to the right side. It's a flea flicker for the Broncos. Back to throw, Elway throwing long down the center of the field. The pass is overthrown, incomplete, intended for Anthony Miller, but he was bracketed with excellent coverage by Mark Collins and James Hasty and Brian Washington. The Chiefs didn't bite.
No, sir. They played that extremely well. I don't know if John was trying to get the ball to Miller or just throwing the thing away because he saw that his man was double covered down the field. You'd had to have been a magician to get that one in.
Denver 30 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. Third one, fumble by Elway. Chiefs have it. Chiefs have it at the 31. Tracy Simeon recovers for the Kansas City Chiefs on a quarterback sneak.
He tried to trick him because he got up to the line, went on a quick count to get that quarterback sneak. He did everything except hold on to the football. He had the football out in front of him. It got away from him, and Simeon was there to make the recovery, giving great field position for Kansas City. The last time they had field position like this, Bono took it in for a touchdown.
A quarterback sneak. Elway took the snap cleanly as he was trying to grip the football. It rolled off his hands.
Yes. First thing you do when you take the ball from the center is bring it into your stomach to control it.
Steve Bono, who missed his first 7 attempts, has hit 8 of his last 9. He has thrown for 109 yards. Chiefs after the turnover. Sweep left. Marcus Allen at the 30. Cuts up 25. Marcus Allen lowers the shoulder, and the future Hall of Famer to the Bronco 21-yard line. Gain of 9. Tackle Steve Atwater.
I'm telling you, Kimball Anders threw a block on Simon Fletcher that knocked him backwards. And that was how it would create the hole. I see now that Kimball Anders is going off. Vanover coming into the ball game.
2nd down and 1 for the Chiefs at the Bronco 21, and now the Chiefs have all kinds of options here offensively. 7-7 tie. In the drizzle and the snow here in Denver. 4:30 left to go first half. In motion right, Cash. Handoff, Marcus Allen trying the right side. Now up the right hash mark. He's got a first down. It's a Chief first down at the Broncos 16, tackled by Alan Aldridge.
You see that Marcus Allen, how he set up Keith Cash for his block. Cash was on the left side, came across the right side. His job was to block the linebacker. And Marcus set up that linebacker so it made an easy block for Keith Cash. Then he slipped right behind him to pick up the first down. That's where it's a good back. The guy that knows what he's doing out there and has vision, can see what's happening down the field.
He's going to line up as a wide receiver this time. Wide to the left side. Nobody's on him. And now Braxton finally goes out on him. As Kimball Anders alone setback. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the Broncos 16. 7-7 tie. Flag thrown. And it's going to be a legal procedure on Kansas City.
Ricky Sigler backing up before the ball was snapped. Got to pay attention. Boy, you can't make mistakes down here. This is scoring territory.
Again, 4 of the 5 Kansas City Chiefs offensive linemen remain constant. Left tackle, Alt. Left guard, Zott. Center, Grunhart. Right guard, Shields. But at right tackle, Jeff Criswell and Ricky Sigler, when both healthy, split time.
He's just not paying attention. He's thinking about his job, which is blocking, which is good, but you got to pay attention to that starting count. You notice what Kansas City's been doing the last couple of plays, really spreading out that Bronco defense from sideline to sideline.
3:37 left to go in the first half. 7-7 tie. Chiefs now 1st and 15 after the penalty. Split back. Allen, the left halfback behind John Alt. Play action fake by Bono. Retreats into the pocket, grabs the ball, throws it left. Left flat, it goes to Anders at the 15. He's hit immediately. And taken down there after a gain of 6, Alan Aldridge covering for the Broncos.
Go to the man with the sure hands. That would be Kimball Anders, the leading receiver on this Chiefs football team, and he was coming across the middle. They had all those receivers flying down the field. That's what I said. They're spreading out the defense of the Broncos, making them cover from sideline to sideline. And when you run a crossing pattern, we said this before, there are holes out there between those linebackers where you can get the ball to the receiver. That time he got it to Kimball Anders.
Anders and Allen. Well, Anders is a lone setback. Allen is wide to the left side on 2nd down and 9 at the 15 for the Chiefs. Threatening at the Bronco 15. Bono slings one. Touchdown! Over the middle. Over the middle to Lake Dawson for a touchdown. Kansas City with a 15-yard strike, and Bono firing a bullet into the waiting arm.
He threw it that bullet because if you're looking at number 34, Braxton down there, he threw it so quickly he couldn't react. That was his area down there, man-to-man coverage on Lake Dawson, but that quick slant-in pattern is tough for a cornerback. He needs the help with that safety, but Bono threw it so quickly and so sharply that he could not react. Good play by Steve Bono.
Dawson dropped one earlier, but the lad from Notre Dame has redeemed himself with his 5th, further 4th touchdown reception of the season, and Kansas City's got the lead. 2:45 left to go first half. Let's stay here. The Chiefs lead the Broncos now 14-7.
All right, that was a good drive. Bring back talking about field position, and when you get good field position, don't have to travel as far. 2 touchdowns. One, they started on, the 34-yard line of Denver. This one, they started on, about the 30-yard line, so they don't have to travel as far.
Let's go to the sidelines and see what's on Bob Gretz's mind.
Well, Mitch, I'll tell you what, Leonard called it exactly. John Elway just got a little bit too fancy on that play. They were trying because it was a deep pass. The defensive backs for the Chiefs were way back there. I know, Leonard, you spotted that. They rushed up to the line of scrimmage. You know, there was a comment made by Shanahan this week about Elway. The reason they're going that he likes the shotgun so much is that he doesn't even look at the ball, Shanahan says, anymore when it's snapped. He's looking down the field to get the coverage. I think when he goes under center in those situations, that may be a hindrance to him. Because
I think, Bob, what is bothering him is his weather.
Well, certainly
he has thrown some poor passes for John Elway.
And I got to tell you here, in the last half hour or so, it has gotten much colder and windier here on the floor of the stadium.
We'll put on another coat, Bob, because it's not going to get any warmer today. The run up and the kick by Elliott, it's a short one, a flutter-type kick taken by Aaron Craver, one of the up blockers, 25-30. He's up to the 32-yard line. Steve Bono has thrown 2 touchdown passes in this game. Now Steve Bono has thrown 2 touchdown passes in each of the past 6 games. No one has done that since Len Dawson did it 7 straight times.
The first one was a run, Mitch.
Oh, that's right.
You know, he's going to do it yet in the second half here.
You know what you'd like to have is this lead going into the dressing room, because the weather may be miserable the second half. May be a big factor in this game.
Big.
First down and 10.
But thanks for the compliment.
Well, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to
get my name in there. I appreciate it.
Trying to remember you here. 36 left in the half. 14-7 Chiefs. Elway out of the shotgun. Flings it to the right side to a safety valve receiver, Aaron Craver. He's hit immediately by Mark Collins.
Penetration by Neil Smith. He got back there, but I see Neil is taking himself out. Something is wrong.
Let's go down to Bob Gretz right away.
It's his ribs, Mitch and Len, after that play. He hit the ground, the left side. He's grabbing at his ribs.
Second down and 8 for the Broncos out of the shotgun after the gain of 2. They dump it over the middle on a delay route. Nearly intercepted. It rolled off the hands of the intended receiver. Terrell Davis and Mark Collins almost picked it off. It's 3rd down and 8.
Mark was getting ready to really level him with the hit, and he saw that ball floating up the air and said, oh, my goodness, I had a chance to come up with the interception.
He would have if Terrell Davis wouldn't have played defense suddenly and knocked the ball.
Let's go back to Elway.
Away from Collins.
Elway's not throwing the ball very well. I mean, he threw the ball, about 8 yards, 10 yards, and still missed the receiver, threw behind him.
3rd down and 9 for the Broncos. Denver 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions in the game. 3rd and 9 for the Broncos from their own 33. 14-7 Chiefs. 2:08 left to go first half. Motion penalty on Denver. Elway throws over the middle. He's got Shannon Sharp at the 45. Up to the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Maybe coming back. Illegal motion on Denver. The rookie, Terrell Davis. 28-yard pass play that'll be wiped out because of illegal motion on the Denver Broncos.
Now Neil is coming back in the ball game, walking much better than when he left the game. I also know Martin Bayless on that nickel defense was blitzing that time. I thought maybe he was going to jump offside. Maybe that had a factor in drawing somebody on the Broncos offense off. Big break, another big break for Kansas City with the penalty.
You know, Shannon Sharp had the touchdown reception, but Kansas City, for the most part, has held him in check, and Sharp usually eats the Chiefs up.
They generally have a guy on him. The problem with the touchdown pass, the safety bit on the fake, and so did the linebacker, and he's wide open.
We're at the 2-minute warning in the snow here in Denver. It's sleeting and snowing and everything else, but the Chiefs lead 14-7. 2 minutes left in the half. Now this on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network. He has thrown for a touchdown. 14 yards. The Chiefs lead the Denver Broncos 14-7. John Elway has accounted for the only Denver Bronco touchdown on a pass to Shannon Sharp. Terrell Davis, the lone setback, out of the shotgun on 3rd and 14 from his own 28. Elway with time, throws it over the middle. The pass is overthrown. Intended for Anthony Miller, covered by James Hasty.
The good news is Neil Smith back in there, Derek Thomas back in, and they got some pressure up the middle in the face of John Elway. You see that pass? That was a floater down there. Now, you know, he's going to be throwing a couple of those, and with all the defensive backs that Kansas City has in the ball game, here just before half, either at 6 or 7 that time. Somebody could come up with an interception. That's the key here now. With the weather getting this bad, turnovers. Turnovers are so important.
How giant is that touchdown that the Chiefs just scored because the elements are going to get worse.
They get time. They get time to get another one here before the half.
Bruin takes the snap. There's 1:52 left to go in the half. However, the Chiefs only have one timeout remaining. Vanover takes the punt. He fair caught it at the 30-yard line.
They were going after it. They were trying to block that thing.
51-yard punt by the Broncos. Fair caught by Tamarik Vanover at his own 30-yard line.
I tried to tell the official down there that he didn't give him enough room to make that fair catch, and I think he's probably right, but they didn't call it.
You don't have to give him the required 2 yards you do in college ball, but you have to give him a chance to catch it. 1:46 left to go in the second quarter. It's 14-7. Chiefs leading the Broncos.
Now, Atwater, I saw him going into the locker room, so he evidently has a problem for the Broncos.
And the Broncos will make a adjustment. Tim Hawk is in the game for Steve Atwater. Tim Hawk is at free safety instead of Atwater. Kimball Anders and Leroy Thompson in the backfield for Steve Bono. Back in the pocket, in trouble, dumps it off to the safety valve Thompson. He's not been touched after he catch it. Now he is at the 30-yard line. Chiefs put down the football quickly. They want to go in a hurry. No gain.
One timeout remaining for Kansas City. As we take a look at the clock, it's 1:30 and counting down.
Chiefs go without a huddle. 2 wide receivers left. Danon Hughes and Willie Davis. Webster Slaughter wide to the right. Split backs. Bono on 2nd and 10 from his own 30. Lofts a pass left side. A deep curl caught by Willie Davis at the 44-yard line. A gain of 14. First down, Kansas City. Washington and Braxton tackle it.
Trying to preserve the timeout that they have left, so they're either going to have a play or he's going to ground the ball.
1:07 left to go in the first half. 14-7 Chiefs. Chiefs 3 wide receivers. To throw Bono. Quick pass left side. He was going to throw a quick out to Willie Davis, who wasn't anticipating the football, and the pass was underthrown incomplete.
Bono was falling backwards. I think he just wanted to get rid of that thing. If it was open right now, he gets the ball to him. If not, just throw the thing away.
Which way is the wind blowing? And
it looks like it's going
it is.
From our right to left in the face of Kansas City, but it could be swirling. That's the thing. If it gets to be swirling in here, it's really murder for not only the passers, but the kickers as well.
Slaughter wide to the left side. 2 receivers to the right, including a tight end Cash. Single back is Kimball Anders. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs at the 44 of their own. 58 seconds left in the half. 14-7 Chiefs. Bono dumps it off near side Cash. Pass was too high and incomplete. Cash couldn't draw it in. Braxton was over there to tackle him in case he did catch the football.
And what happened that time, Bono had to throw over somebody. You know, no somebodies out there are 6'6", 6'7", and that. And when he did that, it was just too high for Keith Cash to bring in. All he was looking for there was for Keith Cash to catch the ball, get as much yardage as he could, and get out of bounds.
Chiefs on 3rd down today are 3 of 7 on conversions. 54 seconds remain in the first half. 3rd down and 10 for the Chiefs. Football at their own 44. Bono under center. Grunhart with 4 seconds on the play clock. In motion left is Hughes to the right slot rather. Bono sets up, dumps it off near side. Anders can't make the catch. It was too tall for him. And now with 4th down with 49 seconds left to go in the half, Kansas City will have to punt the ball.
You hate to see Elway get the ball any time on the clock. We've seen it too many times, what he's capable of doing. 49 seconds remaining. And Aguiar needs to kick this one. He needs to kick it out of bounds. Don't give Milburn an opportunity to run that thing back.
Milburn standing at his own 12-yard line.
And you can see it looks like Louis is looking like he's trying to angle it.
Lining his feet up that way. Aguiar's punts 49, 43, and 47. And trying to angle it to the near side. End over end boot. It's high. And Milburn lets it bounce at the 5, and it squirts into the end zone. Come out to the 20-yard line. 4.4 hang time. 55-yard punt, but it comes out to the 20.
Was that a strange punt or what? It looked like a kickoff.
It did.
It's tough to do that when you're punting. Anyway, it's 80 yards for Elway and company to go, and they have 2 timeouts remaining.
And 38 seconds. 14-7 Chiefs.
Elway's not throwing well, and he's the type of guy that will force it too. So and this is an opportunity for Kansas City. If they get a little pressure in his face, that he may throw that thing up for grabs and come up with an interception.
Let's give you the personnel for the Chiefs here as they play pass defense to end the half. Neil Smith and Derek Thomas as pass rushers, 3-point stance. Phillips Salimu in the middle. 4-6 defense. To throw Elway out of the shotgun. Dumps it over the middle. Finds Terrell Davis. 25-30. Gain of 11. First down. Clock continues to move. 29 seconds left to go in the half. Tackled by Anthony Davis, and Denver will use one of its 2 remaining timeouts. Let's stay here with 27 seconds left in the half, and the Chiefs leading 14-7.
You're looking at 6 defensive backs back there for Kansas City, and what you're going to see a couple of them deep down in the middle for looking anything that's deep, because Elway has got a rocket. He can throw that thing a long, long ways, and hopefully the 4 down linemen can get enough pressure on Elway that he, gets rid of the ball sooner than he wants to. And you got one linebacker out there to handle the back. He comes either with a draw play or a screen or coming out of the backfield. That's his man. And I think it's Anthony Davis.
Terrell Davis is a lone setback. Elway in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at his own 31-yard line. Elway lofting a wobbler near side. It's up for grabs. The pass is incomplete. And now a flag is going to be thrown. Anthony Miller was taken to the ground by James Hasty. Mark Collins is going to argue.
He's calling it off, I think, because that ball floated out of bounds.
The uncatchable. But if the Chiefs would have found the location of the football, that would have been intercepted.
That was a strange looking, looked like a wounded duck going out there. See that Elway, I would have thought that he would.
The pass was not catchable.
Not catchable. I would think Elway, living up here, playing all these years, would be able to handle a wet ball a little better than he has.
He is struggling today. You and I talked about it before the game that
he has said he doesn't like it. He said, I don't like a wet ball. He said, snow is one thing. He said, but I don't like a wet ball.
Why doesn't he play for Tampa Bay? 22 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos at the 31-yard line they're on. They have 1 timeout remaining, and they trail 14-7. Chiefs twisting in the middle on the rush. Right side McCaffrey, crossing pattern, delayed route, and he's up to the 42-yard line and out of bounds to stop the clock. Gain of 11 yards to Ed McCaffrey, the free agent pickup from the 49ers.
Another wounded duck by Elway, and that was, he's just getting no rotation on the ball. It's kind of like he's shot putting it out there.
It's become almost mental for him now.
It is. It does get mental.
Again, the kind of a light drizzle turning to snow here. Got a light snow falling here. 15 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 14-7 Chiefs. Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 43. Elway, the pass slipping out of his hands and just fluttered over the middle. If the Chiefs would have found it, they would have picked it off again. It looks like the opening day of pheasant season.
I'm laughing at him because I know what he's going through. But I thought the one before that was the ugly one. That was uglier. That slipped right out of his hand. That's what I talk about when he takes a tight grip on the ball. If you squeeze too tightly and it's wet and slippery, it could come right out of your hands. That's exactly what happened.
I'm telling you, it's a good thing that the Broncos wear orange, because if there were hunters here in the stands today, they would just be unloading their shotguns on these passes. 2nd and 10 at the 43 for Elway. Takes the shotgun snap, trying to set his feet this time. Rolling to the left side. Now shovels it off. It's incomplete.
Jeez,
trying to get rid of the football. James Hasty, I've never seen John Elway so flabbergasted in a half.
I have not either. I mean, those are, that was a poor decision there that he made. Why not just throw the ball away? Try that it looked like a shovel pass that you do in basketball, and didn't come within 5 yards of hitting his man.
Tell you what, the people in western Nebraska listening to this game, they're going to get in their pickups and get the gun rack out. They're going to be out here in about 10 minutes.
I said the quarterback that can handle the conditions has the best chance of winning.
There's game to shoot here. 3rd and 10 for the Broncos at their own 43. 14-7 Chiefs. Pass down the near sideline. It is caught by Vance Johnson and out of bounds at the Chief 37-yard line, but that's the last play of the first half. The first half has come to an end. John Elway struggling with the elements. And Kansas City leads at halftime 14-7 over the Denver Broncos. Bill Grigsby has your halftime after this on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Apparently the supply of balls are all wet and slick at this point late in the half.
Dick, I'll tell you this. The bad thing is they're going to switch balls at halftime. They bring out new ones. But as a quarterback, it's much better once they get soaking wet. Then you can somewhat cram them and throw them.
Vance Johnson, the catch is good, but it's at the end of the half. Final second is ticked away. So John Elway and the Broncos will go into the locker room where, how can I get a decent grip and throw the ball accurately?
Well, we're ready to go. 14-7 Kansas City. Mitch, keep them in front.
All right, it's snowing. Get the snow plow out. It's time for the third quarter. Chiefs lead 14-7. They'll get the ball to start the third quarter of play. Jason Elam, and I just checked the weather. It's not going to get any better. It's worse north of here, and it's headed this way. Short kick by Elam. Tamarik Vanover's got it in the snow. Goes to a knee. Gets up. Nobody touched him. 25. He's up to the 30. 35-yard line. Vanover, quick sprint far side. 40-yard line. Fumbles the ball out of bounds. finally goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. An injured Chief down on the kickoff return, but Tamarik Vanover does it again for Kansas City.
You know, Eric Thomas is a cornerback, 184 pounds. He had the angle on Vanover and thought it was going to be easy to catch him. All of a sudden, he's by him, showing the speed of that guy. Who's the injured player? That's
Danon Hughes. Injured for Kansas City, and the elements getting worse here. This is now a full-fledged snow, folks. No more rain changing to snow. It's snowing.
Elway's still warming up on the sidelines down there. He's really got to bother him the way he threw the ball in the first half, because he does not like the elements, doesn't like to throw in this type of weather.
Steve Bono acts like he grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He has had a decent first half, in particular the second quarter. Offset eye. 2 tight ends and 2 flankers for the Chiefs. Actually, 1 tight end to the left side is Cash. Swing pass near side. Marcus makes the catch. Tries to put on a move. Loses his footing and goes down at the 47-yard line. And in essence, a loss of 1 on the play. Ray Crockett, the left corner, covering for the Broncos.
This is going to be a game where it's not going to be cutting. It's going to be north and south. You've got to be able to run straight ahead, because you just saw with Marcus Allen, who maintains his footing about as well as anybody, was not able to make a cut down there, went to the turf.
2nd and 11 after the loss of 1 on the swing pass to Marcus Allen. A minute deep into the third quarter. It is Kansas City 14, Denver 7 in the snow. In motion, Cash to the near side. Now 2 tight ends are in there. They fake the draw. They find Walker leaking out to the right side, and he's pushed out of bounds by Elijah Alexander. But he's up to the Denver 43-yard line and near a Kansas City first down.
See, the 2 passes they've thrown are good. They're short passes, because those don't have to travel very far, so the wind doesn't become involved, and there is wind out here with the snow blowing down there. A sure pass, so if a man isn't open, then you just throw the ball away. You cannot afford now, either team, if you want to win, you can't afford turnovers. That is the key. Here's the 3rd and short situation for Kansas City. They need to pick this up and continue this drive.
3rd and less than a yard. Cash is a wing right. Goes in motion left toward the same side Walker as Marcus Allen pushes up across the block to the left tackle up to the 40-yard line. First down, Kansas City. Let's go down to Bob Gretz making a snowman on the Chiefs sideline.
Mitch is really coming down here. Just to give you a flavor of the halftime comments from Marty to the team. Things he talked about, same words Len Dawson talked about when this game kicked off. Number 1, protect the football. Number 2, go for the turnover. And number 3, field position, special teams. They came out on the first play of the half and gave themselves field position.
That's the name of the game. And as I say, John Elway still is throwing on the sideline down here. That means that he is concerned. It's bothering him the way he threw in the first half.
Courtesy of Tamarik Vanover is the field position. Wing left, Cash. Walker tight end on the line of scrimmage right side. And up Marcus Allen goes off tackle right side. He's at the 35-yard line. And Marcus Allen scoots up to the 30-yard line before he's tackled by Ray Crockett. Right at the 30, a gain of about 9 yards on first down.
Downfield, a good block by Lake Dawson. Get down there, get in the face of that cornerback down there, and that was the reason Marcus was able to pick up the first down, because Lake Dawson was down there on the ground throwing a block for him. So important with any long run that you're able to get your receivers down the field and get in the face of those defensive backs.
Marcus Allen now 9 carries, 41 yards. John Alt, 2-point stance as the left tackle. And they hand it off on a trap play to Anders trying to get outside. Criswell out in front of him. But nobody had any footing except Simon Fletcher, the defender. It's a loss of 1 for the Chiefs. Back to their own, or back to the Bronco 31-yard line. Time, 12:29 left to go third quarter in the snow. 14-7, the Chiefs lead the Broncos.
Sideways. You can't do it. You can't cut. You know, and that's what I'm talking about, that he was going sideways trying to get a block from his tackle, Criswell, not able to do it. There were 4 Bronco defenders out there on Kimball Leonard.
There's an injury timeout. 12:26 left to go third quarter, 14-7 Chiefs. Let's take an injury timeout, brought to you by Ask a Nurse in the Snow.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
And snow now making it a greater challenge for all the athletes.
Phil, that's snow. You know how smart Sims is? Yesterday he goes out. What a nice guy. Phil Sims goes out and buys Paul some thermal underwear, you know, to wear.
Well, we can't.
I'll get back to that.
Well, we can't hardly wait. That's what you call a real tease. Folks, I know you'll want to hear.
Welcome back to snowy Denver. Mitch Holtz is along with Len Dawson. Kansas City 14, Denver 7. On second down 11, rolling right is Bono. He throws the pass behind the intended receiver, the tight end, Derek Walker. It rolls off his hand, incomplete. Coverage by Elijah Alexander.
Simon Fletcher, defensive end for Broncos, coming back in the ball game after going off for one play. He had Walker wide open. That was just a bad throw by Steve Bono.
Are the Chiefs in 4-down territory here? They have 3rd and 11.
Yeah, I would say so, depending on how Marty feels about the field goal kicker.
It is snowing here in Denver, the frozen tundra of Mile High Stadium. Kansas City has a flanker to the near side. It's Willie Davis and a flanker left. 2 tight ends as well, 1 setback. Marcus Allen gets it up the middle at the 30-yard line. Tipped toward. And dives down to the 20-yard line. He may have a first down at the 20. Alan Aldridge made the tackle. How about the run up the middle by Marcus Allen?
I said not sideways, north and south because of the footing out there. And Marcus Allen did exactly that. A little draw play, good blocking by that offensive line, providing a seam for him up the middle. And what are they going to do, measure it? Or give it?
They're going to say it's 4th down.
Eligible position, 73.
Valerio in as an extra blocker. It's 4th down.
So it's 4th down.
4th and inches.
This is good. They make this. They run more time off that clock.
Old gritty Tim Grunhart grabs the football. He loves games like this in the snow. Bono takes the snap, reverses under center, hands it off Marcus Allen. He's got a first down by about 3 yards. He's up to the Denver 17-yard line.
Valerio's falling on top of Marcus. Marcus might say, hey, it's bad enough trying to avoid these other guys. You don't have to fall on me, too. But they made the first down. The clock is running 1:07, counting down in this 3rd period. Now they've got 3 or 4 more downs down here to run, keeping John Elway jittery on the sidelines, wondering what it's going to be like when he gets a hold of that football when he gets back in there.
Alan Aldridge and Tim Hawk make the Denver tackle. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the 17. 10:50 left to go, 3rd quarter, 14-7 Kansas City. Play fake by Bono, rolling to the right side, clutching the ball in his right hand. He's going to run it. 20, 15, 10, angles and slides out of bounds at the Denver 7-yard line. A gain of 10 yards on the boot run by Steve Bono.
Good decision by Bono because nobody was out there. He did have his tight end coming across from the left side to the right side, but there was somebody trailing him. There was nobody there, so don't take a chance. Get as much yardage as you possibly can and then get down. Don't take the hard hit.
Harold Hasselbeck got blocked inside nicely by the right side of the Chiefs' offensive line. Jeff Criswell, in particular, the right tackle and the tight end blocking that side. Now the Chiefs have first down and goal to go at the Denver 8-yard line. 10:30 left to go, 3rd quarter. It is snowing here in Denver. The Chiefs have the lead. Handoff Marcus Allen trying to go off tackle left side. He had his legs taken out from under him at the 5 by Lionel Washington.
And Lionel Washington is not getting up. He's there on the 10-yard line. He has hurt. Good move by Marcus Allen. Wanted to go outside, but Washington took that away from him, so he wisely just jumped back to the inside to pick up as much yardage as you possibly can. That's the thing. Don't lose any yardage down there. Pick up whatever you can.
Timeout on the field. 10:17 in the 3rd in the snow. 14-7 Kansas City. You're listening to Chiefs football.
So while they attend Lionel Washington, 10:17 left in this 3rd quarter. 14-7 Chiefs. You see the snow and ice forming along the sidelines. 2nd and goal, Kansas City.
Steve Bono takes out his whip, whacks the dogs. It's the Iditarod sled race here. 14-7 Chiefs in the snow lead the Broncos. 10:06 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down, goal to go at the 5 for Kansas City. Handoff Marcus Allen, right side. Hunger power to the end zone. He's just inches short. And Kansas City will have 3rd down and goal to go inside the 1. Len Dawson.
And here comes some big guys. Joe Valerio. Sigler coming into the ball game. Is that Richardson as well? Coming in for the blocking purposes down here. Marcus Allen has carried it 6 times for, 32 yards?
On this drive, right?
Why wouldn't you give it to Marcus Allen? He's a north-south runner, and that's the conditions that dictate. That's what you do.
Marcus Allen in the game as a tailback. Tony Richardson is the fullback. Under center is Steve Bono. Grunhart will snap to it. On 3rd down and goal to go, Marcus Allen dives over for the touchdown for Kansas City. His 100th career rushing touchdown. And in the snow, the legends of Walter Payton, John Riggins, and Jim Brown wait for him. The only 4 men in the history of the National Football League to have 100 rushing touchdowns.
They're waiting for him?
Yes, they are. They've been waiting for him for a month.
Did he keep the ball? That's what I want to know.
Give him the ball if he didn't keep
the ball. What a great player he has been. Man, that's what you give it. You talk about money players. That's a money player. That's who you want the ball in his hands when the conditions are like that, and you got to go north and south.
Louis Aguiar to hold, and Elliott's kick is up. It flutters between the uprights. Jackpot, Kansas City. They've gone to the money man. Marcus Allen with the touchdown. 21-7 Chiefs. 9:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
101 KCFX, Harrisonville, Kansas City. Your radio home of the Chiefs and classic rock and roll of the 70s.
Mitch Holtis along with Len Dawson, Bill Grigsby, and Bob Gretz. 9:20 left to go, third quarter, 21-7 Chiefs.
Elway, I said, warming up over here, trying to get comfortable with the elements out here, has had to cool his heels while Bono let him down for a touchdown. Now their backs are against the wall. They have to throw. They got to throw the ball now, and he had a terrible time in the first half, and the conditions in the first half not nearly as severe as they are right now.
12-play, 52-yard drive. The long kickoff return by Tamarik Vanover set it up. The Chiefs held the ball for 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Marcus Allen had 7 carries of the 12 on the drive and picked up his 100th career rushing touchdown in the National Football League.
Now what has to happen, special team play, don't give them great field position like Vanover provided for Kansas City. You got to get down and cover Milburn down here or whoever returns the kick.
Milburn is the deepest man. Lynn Elliott with the run-up in the boot. He's been short with most of his kicks today, but this is deep. As deep as you can get in the snow, taking it to 7 by Milburn. Up the numbers, left side, 20-25, gets a block, explodes up to the 28-yard line, then he's exploded by Tracy Rogers of Kansas City with good special teams kickoff coverage. Now the Broncos have the ball, trailing 21-7.
That was good coverage considering the fact it was kind of a line drive kick and it didn't get anywhere near the end zone. So John Elway, it'd be interesting to see how he's handling the football here in the second half.
Also,
he had a real hard time in the first.
Old Doug Terry from Liberal, Kansas, played for the Kansas Jayhawks. And congratulations to Glenn Mason and his Jayhawks to a 7-0 start. Great win last night over Oklahoma. 1st and 10 for the Denver Broncos. 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. 21-7 Kansas City, 9:10 left to go. In the third quarter of play, Elway. Hands out of a hand warmer, now underneath the center. Tom Nalen, Craver, and Davis in the backfield. Sweep to the near side, Terrell Davis. Being pushed to the near sideline and finally bumped out of bounds by Tracy Simeon at the 31, a gain of 3 yards.
So there it is. That's one way to handle the ball and not worry about throwing is hand off to one of your running backs. But they're not going to get it done running on the field, particularly running sideways with the conditions as they are right now. They're going to have to go straight ahead. Elway is going to have to throw the football.
You would think Shannon Sharp on short routes would be the way he'd want to go, but Kansas City has taken Shannon Sharp out of this game more than any other time in the series history other than the touchdown. The only touchdown for the Denver Broncos today at Elway to Sharp pass, short pass. Handoff, trap play up the middle to Davis. Trying to slide off a tackle, but hanging on for dear life was Joe Phillips. However, Davis does move to the 35-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 3 for Denver.
Good thing is Joe Phillips, because if he breaks that tackle to Joe Phillips, he's got a first down for sure. So it's going to put him in a bind here. This is 3rd and about 3 yards to go, which generally is a passing situation in the National Football League. We'll see what Elway does.
McCaffrey is wide to the right. Anthony Miller wide to the left side. Tight end right is Shannon Sharp. 2 backs, Craver and Terrell Davis. Split behind John Elway. Elway, play action fake, rolling to the right side. He wants to run the football. He tucks it. He's at the 35, angles to the far side, and he is forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line. First down, Denver. And the fans are wanting a late hit on Kansas City as Elway was forced out of bounds on the far side. Elway getting up slowly. Now he gets away from the Chiefs sideline.
It really wasn't necessary to throw that tackle at him. We got a guy down here.
I think it's Aaron Craver, the fullback, who may have been injured on the play.
Hey, the Broncos have had real problems with injuries.
George Jamison, I believe, was the guy that forced him out of bounds. There's a timeout on the field. 8:11 left to go in the third quarter. Kansas City 21, Denver 7.
We awakened this morning at 7:30. Blue skies. There wasn't a cloud to be seen. That's how quickly the storms can come into this area as they are doing some work on the yard lines. Snow continues to accumulate. Those are the gentlemen behind the play. It's a first down. 8:10 left in the third quarter.
The Chiefs have slalomed their way to a 21-7 lead here in the snow. 8:06 left to go third quarter. Denver 1st and 10 at its own 39-yard line. Split back, sweep to the near side. Terrell Davis has an army out in front of him. He's at the 40, 45, 50. Terrell Davis to the Chiefs' 49-yard line. A gain of 12 yards on just a straight old football sweep.
That's all they've done is run with the football. Something different, and that is Elway has a glove on his right hand. I've never seen him with a glove before. There are other quarterbacks like Jim McMahon who's worn a glove because his hand wasn't that big. But Elway bothered him so much, I think the first half he went to a glove on the throwing hand.
First down and 10 for the Broncos at the Chief 49-yard line. 7:45 left to go third quarter. It is snowing more than ever before today right now. The snow covering the field. Handoff, Aaron Craver, who was injured earlier, back in the game and fighting for hard-earned yards to the Chief 47-yard line. They unpile, Booker unpile, Sally Amua, Neil Smith all unpile. It's like the call of the wild. Let's go to Bob Gretz.
Well, Mitch, one thing that Gunther Cunningham talked about with his defense at halftime is watch where Davis lines up, number 30. If he lines up on the right in the split backs, they run left. If he lines up to the left, they run right. So far, the Chiefs haven't been able to do anything with that information because he's followed it to the T in this half.
Denver's second down and 8 at the 47-yard line, their own. McCaffrey in motion, left to right. They play fake. Rolling right is Elway. Glove and ball on the right side. Now he's going to tuck it up, come upfield. He's hit from behind. Neil Smith was chasing. He might give a home run swing. He does. Along with Sally Amua as they sack John Elway, who actually ran the football up to the Kansas City 47-yard line. No gain on the play.
And when he hit the turf, that glove got all wet. So we'll see if the glove works. This can work on somebody's mind. I think if not for these conditions, Elway would have thrown that football someplace rather than put it under his arm and run.
Did you ever wear a glove on your right hand when you played?
We weren't allowed to wear gloves.
3 wide receivers, shotgun set for the Broncos. One back in the formation, 3rd and 9 at the 47. Quarterback draw by Elway. Now throws late, looks for McCaffrey, who makes a diving catch. Did Elway cross the line of scrimmage before he threw the football? Evidently not. No flags have been thrown. Red Cashin, the referee, talks with the umpire here. But those guys, I don't believe, would make the call. This may be. It is an illegal forward pass by John Elway. He crossed the line of scrimmage before he threw the football.
Well,
illegal
Marty
forward pass.
Was all over the official over there on that side. Well, there it is. Elway making poor decisions. You know, generally John Elway makes good decisions. I think it really has him rattled. It really has him rattled, the fact that in the first half he's throwing those wounded ducks, went in and put a glove on his throwing hand, did not feel comfortable because he probably hasn't ever thrown in a game with a glove on his hand. I don't know, but the way he's performing out there and the decisions he's making tells me he hasn't.
The line of scrimmage is about the 47-yard line. They're changing the call now. He was a legal forward pass. Let's clarify this now. It was a legal forward pass. They're going to say, however, an illegal receiver was downfield, so a lineman released prior to the pass.
That was a quarterback draw play.
3rd down and 13. Elway throwing down the right side, throwing long for Vance Johnson. It's broken up by Dale Carter and nearly intercepted. Vance Johnson, the intended receiver.
That pass, the only one in position to make the catch was Dale Carter. Because Elway threw the ball, threw a lot better that time than just before the end of the half, though. So maybe he's encouraged by that. But
boy, Dale Carter played it well.
He did. I thought he was going to come up with the interception.
6:01 left to go, third quarter. Snow is on the field, and more is falling, coming out of the mountains. 21-7 Chiefs. And Tom Ruin to punt. Takes the snap at his face mask, gets the kick away. Wobbly kick. Vanover just gets out of the way. Now watches the ball roll, continue to roll inside the 10. It'll be down at the 9. Hang time 3.04 seconds, but
you're watching the NFL on NBC. If there is a signature to Marty Schottenheimer's teams, that's it, turnovers. He's a +2 today. He's a +10 for the year. And since he came to Kansas City, since 1990, 87 on the plus side turnovers. Pittsburgh at 39 is in second place, a distant second. And here's Marty reminding the players, even in the warm-up today, this is back at 1:30, going at the ball, reminding his players, hang on to it, and in turn, you try to get it away. The 9-yard line.
Hands it off to Marcus Allen, up the gut. He's at the 15-20. Marcus Allen runs into his own man. He ran into Webster Slaughter. And then goes down at the 26-yard line. Is there a better man on earth to have on your team in conditions like this than Marcus Allen?
No, and he almost coughed up that ball running into Webster Slaughter. The ball got loose a little bit, but he's able to bring it back in. Webster Slaughter's got to get out in front and go make a block. Because you have to anticipate that Marcus is going to be right behind you.
Tyrone Braxton made the tackle for Denver. Marcus Allen, 79 yards on 14 carries, and he's not done today. Double tight ends in motion. Willie Davis from the right flanker to the left side. Marcus Allen gets it again from his own 26 and squirts up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 8 yards.
Did you see the acceleration? You know, that's what I went back last week when we were talking about Greg Hill was making better decisions and accelerating. Marcus Allen just made that decision. Go, man. Go. Make that decision and go with it. And he was able to run through some arm tackles in there and pick up good yardage.
You know, seeing a 32 run through the snow like that, I know he doesn't have the same body build, but that last play looking like a Jimmy Brown kind of run, you know, the snow in Cleveland or something like that.
I used to watch that man run in Cleveland. He was a great, great running back.
Second down and 1 for the Chiefs after the gain of 9. Football at their own 35. Marcus. Here's that phone ringing again. He's the only setback behind Bono. Second and 1, he gets the call. And he kind of trying to fight his way across the 35 to 36 to be close to a first down.
But you notice he's running with his head up to see where that slot is, where that hole is. Because he knows he only needed a yard. That's all he was looking for. And he got it.
Red Cashin signaling first down. Steve Atwater back in the lineup now for Denver. He was injured in the first half, 5-time Pro Bowl.
4 minutes. That's the important thing, 4 minutes. I would look for Denver pretty soon to take some chances defensively, to blitz somebody, try to come up with a big play defensively, because what they need to do is take that football away from Kansas City, and Kansas City's giving it to the guy that has the best hands, and that's Marcus Allen.
They blitzed Oakland on Monday night. 3:43 left to go, third quarter in motion. The near side, the chief wide receiver, Allen, gets it again on 1st and 10. This time he gets pounded, twisted down to the sod at the 36-yard line.
You notice both arms wrapped around the ball when he was getting into traffic, securing that ball. And as we see the guys with the brooms brushing off the yard markers to see where they're located.
It's like you when you shovel the snow out in the driveway. They're trying to keep the yard markers clean and got the shovels out, and they're trying to do it between plays here.
Hold on to the football. Top priority.
3:07 left to go, third quarter, 21-7 Chiefs. Second down, let's call it a long 9 for the Chiefs at their own 37. Allen in motion this time. Bono to throw, swings it on the near side, 2. Campbell Anders, 40-45, hangs onto the ball and pushes forward before he's tackled by Ray Crockett and Dave Wyman. But he's near a Kansas City first down. Nifty little play for the Chiefs.
They took a chance defensively because they sent the linebacker. The only problem is that was the area he would have been in where the man caught the football. So Aldridge went after the quarterback. He was able to, on a little bootleg rollout thing, get rid of it and get it to his back coming out of the backfield.
I'm impressed with the way Steve Bono's handled the weather.
Well, he's keeping the passes short. You know, that's the first thing. You don't want to have to go down the field. You know, that's why first down is so important. You get positive yardage on first down, so you're not always in third and long.
Bono looks like he's got a snowdrift on the top of his helmet. He's got a little snowball on the top of his helmet.
There they come.
And Marcus Allen on first down gets gobbled up and thrown for a loss back at the 45-yard line.
You would have to come Atwater, safety man. He's up there. It's almost a 9-man front now.
What
they're saying is that, hey, we're going to shut down the run, particularly on first down, try to put you in a passing situation on second and third.
Look at Bono's helmet. The snow is accumulating on the top of Steve Bono's helmet. He's got a snowdrift up there. It's got to weigh him down a little bit. Maybe give him a little extra protection. Second down, 11. Football for the Chiefs at their own 47. 1:42 left to go in the third quarter. 21-7 Kansas City. Allen in motion to the near side. Anders alone setback. 2 receivers left. Play action fake. Bono rolling. They want to throw to the middle of the field. It's broken up. Danon Hughes, the intended receiver. Tyrone Braxton, who's had a great day today, breaks up the pass for Denver.
But I'm talking about going downfield. You don't want to throw that thing down the field. He's playing center field, watching because he knew. Forget about the run. We're looking for Bono to throw the ball, and that's what he's been doing, the rollout thing, looking to flood that area. 3 receivers on the right side. Tried to go downfield to Hughes, but it was a good play by the defense. Hold on to the football. Top priority. Hold on to the football.
Braxton played 7 years in Denver, played last year in Miami. After a day like today, he goes, I think I'll go back to the Dolphins. Third down, 11. Football for the Chiefs at their own 45. They lead 21-7, the Chiefs do. Draw play to Leroy Thompson. Sheds a tackler, but here comes Simon Fletcher and Steve Atwater. And they dogpile on him at the 44-yard line. A loss of 1 yard. Let's travel down, but we will shortly.
They held on to the football. They tried to draw play. That's why you didn't want to get into third and long like they did that time. So they went to the draw play, and the important thing is hold on to the football because the clock will continue to run. 1:05 remaining in the third period. Punt the ball away, and if he angles it someplace and Milburn doesn't get a good return, then John Elway's still going to have to travel a long way to get into the end zone, and they need touchdowns.
But the Chiefs are chewing up some valuable time here in the third quarter. Louis Aguiar to punt in the snow. Stands at his own 30-yard line. Nice snap back to him by Danny Villa. Trying to angle a kick to the left side. This is a low kick. Milburn says get away from the football. Darren Anderson, the KC Flyer, is down and downs it at the 14-yard line.
Good
Adequate. 3.14 hang time, but it's in the snow. 41-yard punt. Timeout on the field. 37 seconds remain. Third quarter.
Kansas City leading by 2 touchdowns. One of the unrestricted free agents from Washington, selected by Denver, Mark Schlereth, and he certainly is more than a number. Affectionately earned the tag Stinky while he was with the Redskins. He's the only NFL player that is a product of the state of Alaska.
Mitch Holtis back here along with Len Dawson, Bill Grigsby, and Bob Gretz. We're in the Yukon. 37 seconds left to go, third quarter. Here in Denver, it is snowing. 21-7, Kansas City leads the Denver Broncos. Denver with the football, 1st and 10 at its own 14-yard line. Defenders for Kansas City. Keith Traylor's out there. He's been out there several times this afternoon. Neil Smith, Joe Phillips, Derek Thomas.
This is what I said at the top of the show, that they need to get the ball going, maintain it so that those guys are fresh in the fourth quarter. And they've been alternating those defensive linemen because Elway's going to throw the ball.
Kansas City's base defense today has been 6 defensive backs. Handoff Terrell Davis up across the 15-yard line. And Davis up to the 20-yard line, a gain of 6 yards on first down. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification, which is important in the snow on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
Kansas City's home for classic rock and roll of the 70s and your voice of the Chiefs. 101 KCFX, the Fox.
Mitch Holtis back with Len Dawson in Denver. John Elway does not want to run another play in the third quarter. The clock is ticking down, ending the third quarter of play. Elway has snow on his head. We go to the fourth quarter of play, and the mud, the blood, the beer, and the snow. 21-7, Chiefs lead the Broncos. Now this, you're listening to Chiefs football.
And then you explain to your wife why you waited till the end of the game. You don't want to miss a play, and you left the lights on.
Second and 5 for the Broncos at their own 20. 21-7 Chiefs. Elway back to throw. Sheds one Chief rusher. Here comes another one. It was Neil Smith who blasted him with a radar lock, hit in the snow, and swings a home run swing into the north stands. It's a loss for the Broncos back at the 13.
Credit the defense with great coverage. Elway had absolutely no one to go to because they were covered down there by the secondary. The attendance, 71,044.
And what I wanted to say
What did you want to say?
The only dog in a sled dog team that gets a change of scenery is the lead dog.
That's what you want to be, right?
I wanted to say that.
Good call. The lead dog right now is Kansas City. They lead 21-7. Third down and 11 for Elway from his own 14. Pumping, now throwing near side. Broken up. Anthony Davis. And now a flag's going to be thrown. A flag will be thrown by the back judge. Let's go to Bob Gretz.
Mitch, there's no way that back judge saw that play. He was 25 yards away through the snow. There's absolutely no way he saw that play. But Nanook in the north reporting from the frozen tundra down here. I have just an idea, something to remember, guys. You know, they're going to play Game 2 of the World Series tonight in Atlanta. Think of what would have happened if the Colorado Rockies had won the National League pennant tonight.
Yeah. What would they do? They put the dome over, I guess. No, they don't have a dome here in Denver. So they called that
interesting
interference or defensive holding on Kansas City.
They did, and the back judge. We call it interference on Anthony Davis.
One thing that Elway had a lot of time back there, and he couldn't find anybody.
You know who the closest man was to the side judge who made the call? Mike Shanahan.
Yeah, he helped him out.
First and 10 in crossing pattern. Broncos from their own 17 after the automatic first down on the pass interference called on Anthony Davis. They throw a crossing pattern to what is it, 10, 15, 20. Gain of about 4 yards. They're trying to keep the yard line scraped off here, but it's hard to read them.
You know, the bad thing about the pass interference or pushing, whatever it was, gives them an automatic first down. That was after Elway got drilled by Neil Smith and sacked him.
14 minutes left to go in this game. Second down 5 for Denver. Football at their own 22, 21-7 Chiefs.
Tackling so important.
3 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Second and 5 draw play to Terrell Davis. The Chiefs tackle him after just 1 yard gain. Joe Phillips, nice read and hit.
I say tackling is so important because Elway's not going to go deep very much. He's going to keep it underneath. So what you want to do defensively, keep everything in front of you, but you must make the tackle after the guy makes the reception. That's the most important thing.
It is snowing. It has not stopped snowing really hard, and since the second quarter. Stopped snowing since the second quarter, and the news is there's more headed this way. Third down and 4. for Denver. Football at the 23, their own. 21-7 Chiefs. Pass near side, a wobbler, but caught by Shannon Sharp. Now he's touched by Martin Bayless and Dale Carter as he slides to the ground at the 34. First down, Denver Broncos.
And there it is, a very short pass. It should be a sure pass for John Elway, but under these conditions, there isn't a sure pass because that was a wobbly one thrown behind him. Sharp was able to come up with a reception. But there again, defensively, they're keeping everything in front of them.
Two receivers set to the left side. Sharp is lining up on the line of scrimmage outside the right tackle as a tight end three-point stance. Now a fumble! As Terrell Davis gets it in a draw, but he covered up his own fumble.
Traylor, yes. Keith Traylor was the guy that made the initial hit back there that knocked the ball loose, but they were able to come up with it. That's what I said. The important thing for both sides right now, hold on to the football.
Von Booker was trying to poke that football into his arms and couldn't get it done. Offensive line for Denver. Gary Zimmerman, five-time Pro Bowler. Mark Schlereth, the left guard. Tom Nail in the center. Brian Habib, the right guard. Broderick Thompson, former Philadelphia Eagle and former Kansas Jayhawk, is the right tackle for Denver. 12-12. No, snap to Elway has fumbled. He picks it up. He's sacked. He's sacked back at the 25-yard line. Neil Smith gets another sack along with Von Booker for Kansas City. Is Von Booker doing the shuffle back there?
They were telling me that Elway in this shotgun was so confident he doesn't even look at the ball coming back, that he was looking down the field to see what the coverage is. But in conditions like this, first things first, you got to get control of that football. Second time he did it, once on a quarterback sneak, let it get away. Kansas City recovered and got in for a touchdown.
Really give credit to Von Booker for the sack.
Here's 3rd and long.
3rd and 16 for the Broncos at their own 27. 11:47 left in the game. 21-7 Chiefs in the snow. Elway throws a delay pattern near side. Craver, 30, 35. He is up to the 40-yard line and up to the 43-yard line near a Bronco first down. On 3rd and 16, the Broncos pick up maybe 16 yards.
Well, he was so wide open, there wasn't a Chief within 10 yards of him after he made the reception. And once again, a very short pass by John Elway.
Broncos look like they're short by about a yard. Anthony Davis and Brian Washington make the tackle. Denver has 4th and 1 at its own 42-yard line. 11-11 left in the game. Kansas City 21, Denver 7. An October snowstorm here at Mile High Stadium. John Elway wants timeout.
Oh, that's good for Kansas City, wasting a timeout.
And let's go to a break. 11:02 left in the game. 21-7 Chiefs. This is the Kansas City Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network. Broncos look like they're short by about a yard. Anthony Davis and Brian Washington make the tackle. Denver has 4th and 1 at its own 42-yard line. 11-11 left in the game. Kansas City 21, Denver 7. An October snowstorm here at Mile High Stadium. John Elway wants timeout.
Oh, that's good for Kansas City, wasting a timeout.
And let's go to a break. 11:02 left in the game. 21-7 Chiefs. This is the Kansas City Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network. North to Alaska, or at least west to Denver. 11:02 left to go in the game in the snow here in Denver. 21-7 Kansas City. 4th and 1 for Denver at its own 42-yard line. John Elway puts McCaffrey in motion. Long count, now hands it off and lead play up the middle. And breaking free is Aaron Craver across the 50, down to the Kansas City 47-yard line. Jamison and Collins made the tackle, but not soon enough.
Big play for both teams, particularly for the Broncos. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down in this game. Kansas City is 1 for 1 on 4th down. But there was a gaping hole there. If he was looking, really to go all the way, he could have maybe got down there because he was looking to fall after making the yard.
Traylor, Derek Thomas, Neil Smith, Joe Phillips are the front 4. Kansas City stays with 6 defensive backs. They've been that way all day. Elway to throw. Here comes Neil Smith. Elway gets torpedoed back at the 43-yard line by Neil Smith. Another home run swing by Neil.
And look who he's beating. Broderick Thompson. And that time it was just too long to hold out Neil Smith. That was just great 2nd and 3rd effort by Neil Smith to get back there to John Elway, because when you're looking for 3 to 3.5 seconds, that's plenty of time to get rid of the football.
Neil Smith, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And you're right, Thompson locked him up good at the start of the play.
Yeah, but Neil didn't quit. That was the thing. Did not quit.
2nd down and 18, a loss of 8 by Elway. He's in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Tight end right. Elway steps up into the pocket. He's going to tuck the football. Still has a chance to throw it. Throws it to the near sideline. Finds Vance Johnson. And is pushed out of bounds by Dale Carter. But it's down to the Kansas City 36-yard line. It's a first down for the Denver Broncos, and it's what John Elway does best. That is fake a run and then throw it the last possible
And there you go. When you let him go up the middle, That's the killer because he freezes the defense back there where you have to do one of two things, come up to him or stay with the receiver. And you give John Elway the option. You don't want to have him give the options. You dictate to him what he can do, and if you get pressure up the middle, he's not going to be able to do that.
Vance Johnson, a 10-year veteran, but he sat out of football last year. 3 wide receivers. Now a new tight end, Jerry Evans in. And they want to run the football, and falling down was Aaron Craver. Was he touched? And they're going to rule him down back at the 40-yard line, saying Von Booker did get a big right hand on him as Craver lost his footing.
Yes, sir. There's the conditions of the field out there created that play because he wanted to stop and make a cut. When he tried to do that, he went right to the turf.
If you've joined us late, it is in the first quarter. It was kind of raining, kind of turning to snow, and midway through the second quarter, it just started snowing, and it has not stopped. Stop. You got to get that out. Stop. Second down and 13 for the Broncos at the 40-yard line of Kansas City. 21-7 Chiefs. Out of the shotgun snap, Elway retreats even further. Holding. Now throwing at the last possible minute. Finds Anthony Miller on the far side. And he is forced out of bounds by William White. But it's another first down for Denver at the 25-yard line of Kansas City.
And that glove is helping John Elway. He's throwing the ball much better here in the second half under worse conditions than in the first half. I mentioned in the first half he threw a lot of ducks. One slipped completely out of his hand. But what they did is they're completing those second and third and long situations. That's the situation you want him in.
We're going to check his third down conversions on this drive alone. It's been remarkable. First and 10 for John Elway and the Denver Broncos at the Chief 25. 8:40 left to go in the game. 21-7 Kansas City. Sharp lined up wide to the right. Now comes in motion back toward Elway. They fake the draw. Rolling right out of the shotgun is Elway throwing down the near sideline. The pass was overthrown and incomplete. Vance Johnson was the intended receiver, but Dale Carter was with him. In fact, Vance Johnson stopped running his route.
Yeah, and I think Elway thought he was going to go to the end zone. Once again, rolling away from the pressure. He was back in the pocket. Neil Smith has been able to get to him a couple of times. To get away from that, he's been rolling to the right the last couple of times, and he's out there with nobody in his face. And when Elway's out there with nobody in his face, he is very, very dangerous.
14th play of the drive for the Denver Broncos. 8:29 left to go in the game. 21-7 Kansas City with the lead. Again, Elway in the customary shotgun position. Craver the lone setback to his right. Back 2 more steps as Elway dumps it off, finds Craver on a little screen pass. Or leaking out to the right side. Craver's tackled immediately. Hasty covering. Or rather, Washington and Carter there with excellent coverage. Short gain of a 2.
Good open field tackle. The key there. And on that last play, Anthony Davis with a kind of a delay blitz and got up in the face of John Elway, and he had to get rid of that ball in a hurry.
Third down and 8.
Here's another third and long situation. This is, you have to consider 4-down territory down here for John Elway since they're down by 14 points.
8 minutes left in the game. 21-7, the Chiefs lead the Broncos. Third down and 8 for the Broncos at the Chief 23. Again in the shotgun. Tom Nealon snaps it back. Here come the Chiefs on the blitz. Elway throws left side. Passes behind Ed McCaffrey. It's incomplete. He got slammed down to the side by Mark Collins as the pass went whizzing by.
Good defensive call. Here you are, John Elway's in a long situation, and you give him 4 seconds or 5 seconds to throw the ball. They're saying, not this time. He said, we got a 14-point lead. We can afford to take some chances. The last 2 plays, Anthony Davis has blitzed. The last 2 plays, he's been right in the face of John Elway, so he had to get rid of the ball.
The most remarkable statistic of the day is that yesterday it was 74 degrees and sunny in this town. Fourth down and 8 for the Denver Broncos. Football at the Chief 23-yard line. 7:47 left to go in the game. 21-7 Kansas City. Elway takes the snap out of the shotgun set, looking right, flinging a pass to the near side. Intercepted by Carter. Carter at the 10, 15. Carter up the 20, 25, and up the left sideline. Bumped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Dale Carter with another interception. A 41-yard interception return for Dale Carter of Kansas City. And there's a timeout on the field. 7:36 left in the game. 21-7 Chiefs. Now this on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
While the snow falls in Denver, Dennis Martinez and Tom Glavine getting ready for game 2. We'll switch you immediately at the conclusion of this game.
2 drives for Kansas City. First one consumed 5 minutes, 40 seconds. The second one, 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Bono has a touchdown run. He has a touchdown pass to Lake Dawson, and Marcus Allen has his 100th career touchdown rushing the football. Handoff right side, Marcus Allen. He is across the 40, 45, up to the 46. It's a gain of 11 on first down. Alan Aldridge held on to him, but not until Marcus Allen moves the chains, a gain of 11.
Hard to see where the yard markers are with all that snow down on the field, but that's what Kansas City's going to do. They're going to run with the football for Denver. They got to take some chances. They're down 14 points. They need 2 touchdowns, so they got to hope for a turnover or to stop Kansas City, particularly on first down. That time they let it get away and pick up a first down. So I would look for them maybe to get 8 or 9 people up near that line of scrimmage.
Dale Carter, 2 interceptions today for the Pro Bowl cornerback of the Chiefs. Cash is a wing left. Moves to the right side, turns back to the left. Walker tight end that same way. Marcus Allen goes that way. Behind the left tackle.
Man.
And John Alt, those 2 tight ends give him a seam, along with Zott, the left guard. He's across the 50, down to the Denver 45-yard line. Marcus Allen's having some fun right now.
They are just knocking them off the ball. You mentioned 2 tight ends in the ball game. They're in there to run with the football with 6:35 remaining in this football game.
Let's blow the snow off Bob Gretz's microphone.
You know, guys, these Chiefs have been talking about a lack of respect all year. We're seeing right now one of the greatest signs of respect you could ever see. The Bronco fans are deserting.
No, they're gone. Look at
John Elway, the comeback king. They're leaving in droves.
Marcus Allen, 111 yards, 20 carries.
And off Allen again. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. Marcus Allen gets slammed into about 5 Broncos, but he's down to the 34-yard line. Denver trying to pry the football loose. Now, that's the first time, Len Dawson and Bob Gretz, that a Chiefs running back has rushed for 100 yards against the Denver Broncos since the late Joe Delaney did it 14 years ago.
And Mitch, it's the first time it's been done in Denver by a Chiefs back since 1974. And Ed Podolak, Marcus is coming out of the game. He did lose that ball on that last run, but he was able to sweep it back into him. He's leaving the field now. He's not feeling too good. It's hard to tell from here.
He's down now on his knee.
Yeah.
Well, they got to tell Greg Hill that, Greg, the only thing they can do is rip the ball out of your hand, so expect that to happen. They're going to sacrifice giving you a few yards to try to get a hold of that football and pry it loose.
Hey, look at Greg Hill's helmet. It looks like a snowball in a snowball fight outside your fraternity house at Purdue.
And Len, I got to tell you, I know you're familiar with this stadium. The snowballs have started.
Yes, I know.
21-7 Chiefs. Timeout on the field. 5:48 left in the game. You're listening to Chiefs football.
This weather rougher than 7th grade arithmetic right now. 21-7. That's the best 3 years of my life.
2 receivers left. A wing and a tight end to the right side. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the 35 of Denver. 5:30 left to go in the game. 21-7 Kansas City here in the snow at Mile High Stadium. It is a trap play. Greg Hill trying the right side, gets to the 30 and gains 5 yards.
There it is. And he did exactly that. Follow the big guys up front. Go straight ahead. Don't try to be doing cutting out there because the condition of the field will not permit you to do that. And we're more concerned than anything else, that clock that says 5:10 remaining in this football game, to let that thing run on down, to tick on down.
Michael Dean Perry made the tackle. How about the play of the offensive line? Alt, Zott, Grunhart, Shields, Criswell, and Sigler splitting at right tackle. They have
controlled
it,
and they protected Bono, too.
Second half, they have won the line of scrimmage in a big way. 2nd and 6 for the Chiefs. They only gave him 4 yards on first down. Hill gets the call. Trap play. Same play, other side. He's to the 28-yard line, a gain of 3. Clock moving at 4:40 left in the game. 21-7 Chiefs.
And what they're doing is they're coming with the linebackers. You know, they know that Kansas City is going to run. This is tough for an offensive line. I can tell you that because everybody that's now remaining in the stadium, the ones that haven't left already, know that Kansas City is going to run with the football. So there's going to be an 8 or a 9-man front up there by the Broncos defense, and Kansas City is still moving the ball. And this I would consider 4-down territory down here for Kansas City.
This game looks like it's been played on the peak of a mountain on the Alps. 3rd down and 3. Like the Winter Olympics here. 3rd and 3 at the 28-yard line. Faking a handoff is Bono. Rolling left. He's at the 30. Still moving. And is forced out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He may have a first down. Simon Fletcher was chasing him, and Steve Bono out there slip-sliding away, snow plowing, slaloming through the gates as a skier, got maybe to the 25.
See, they knew that they would be pinching down from the outside like they did in that Arizona game in short yardage situation, so he just called a play to the right side and kept the ball by himself on a naked bootleg by the quarterback.
And it is
a
first down.
They moved the chain.
First down, Steve Bono. He continues to make plays. 4 minutes left to go in the game. 21-7 Kansas City. Only 7 second-half points for either team. Marcus Allen had a 1-yard run at 9:05 of the third quarter, his 100th career rushing touchdown. Greg Hill's the single setback now. His job to get the ball and hang on to it. 1st and 10 at the 25 of Denver. As in motion, Danon Hughes from the left slot to the right side, far side of the field. Trap play again, right side. Greg Hill. He runs into Tyrone Braxton after a short gain of about 2 yards. The Chiefs Fox Football Network congratulates Stacy Sparks of Kansas City, Missouri. In the snow, she was caller 11 at the special sound of the Pizza Hut, 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 and wins tickets for 2 in the Fox box at the 50-yard line in the last game of the regular season. It's Seattle at Arrowhead. Could be just like this. Hut, 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 hut.
That's what the Bono's got to do, the hard count out there.
Now it is time. He is over there whipping his sled dogs. Going to Nome, Alaska. It's the Gridiron. According to
everything, he has played a magnificent game.
Bill Len Dawson always told me, in this kind of weather, the toughest quarterback wins the game.
That's right.
I think
By Lenny won all the time.
Well, Bono went to UCLA, but he's learned to play in the snow.
Here comes about a 9-man front.
Hand off to Greg Hill. He finds a little bit of a seam on 2nd down and 8. Crosses the 20, gets to the 19-yard line. 3:24 left to go in the game. 21-7, Kansas City. And if the National Football League was shocked with the Chiefs after 7 weeks, what do you think they're going to be after 8
Timeout,
weeks?
Denver. I think that's their last timeout. They will get one more at the 2-minute warning.
Well, let's check in with the rest of the National Football League, and what better place to go than to just plain Bill Grigsby.
In '89, he said he was about to go to New York, and the phone finally rang. It was Bill Walsh in San Francisco. They had Young in Montana, and Kevin Sweeney, a rookie from Washington State, said, "We want you to just come out and make it tough on Sweeney." And Bono did. He won the 3rd-string job, 5 years in San Francisco.
And that's your Price Chopper update.
And that's a good one, too, Bill. That was a real good one.
Vince Evans is getting it done for the Oakland Raiders, evidently. 3rd down and 4th and 19. Greg Hill gets it again. This time he is tackled. Leg whip to the ground. Alan Aldridge actually grabbed onto his legs and twisted him to the side.
Now what are we going to do?
4th down.
What are we going to do? We're going to let that clock run on down. I know that before they do anything. But are they going to run a play, or are they going to attempt a field goal?
John Elway, the master of the comeback. He has led the Broncos to 28 fourth-quarter comebacks in the fourth quarter in his career, but today the Chiefs have just eaten up time.
Yeah, they're going on down. They're going to call it timeout because there's only 10 seconds remaining on the 25-second clock. I'm assuming they are.
Oop, they break the huddle.
5, yeah.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 4th down and 2 at the 17. Hill's the lone setback. Are they going to get it off? They got it off in time, and they hand it off to Hill, who was stopped short of a 1st down. He ran into Steve Atwater, and Denver takes over on downs with 2:33 left to go in the game. 21-7 Chiefs. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network.
101 KCFX, Harrisonville, Kansas City. Your radio home of the Chiefs and classic rock and roll of the 70s.
Mitch Olfus back with Len Dawson. Bill Grigsby, Bob Gretz, Mile High Stadium in Denver. There's a fight now that's broken out. Lionel Washington was involved for Denver.
And Hughes for Kansas City. They had a hold of their face mask. Each other wouldn't let go. Eventually that
chicken
did let go.
Chicken fight.
That drive took 5 minutes and 3 seconds, so they've had 3 drives in the second half, all of them over 5 minutes.
2:33 left to go in the game. 21-7. Chiefs lead the Broncos. 1st and 10 for John Elway at his own 18-yard line. Shotgun snap to Elway. Swing pass right side. Terrell Davis, the rookie. Has it at the 20. 25. Almost breaks a tackle, but finally the Chiefs hang on to his legs. Martin Bayless.
The guy did not make an effort to get out of bounds. That's what he should have done, because the clock continues to run at 5 or 2:15.
Broncos are out of timeouts. The clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. John Elway, the master of the comeback. There's one guy who will not rest until there's zeros on the clock, and that's Marty Schottenheimer. Out of the shotgun, Elway spins out of the grasp of a Chief rusher. Now a pass down the left side. Terrell Davis drops the football. Anthony Davis, they were all trying to slide, trying to get to the football. Nobody could get there. Actually, Davis had it roll through his hands. 2-minute warning. 1:59 left to go in the game. Kansas City 21, Denver 7. This is the Chiefs Fox Football Radio Network. Larry Heim of Lawrence, Kansas, the hometown of our producer, Joe Carnes, is this week's Sonic winning drive-in winner. He wins 2 tickets to an upcoming game at Arrowhead. And this season, when the game's close at the 2-minute warning, you could win a new Ford Explorer. See participating stores for details on the winning drive-in contest. Sonic, drive in for a change. 1:59 left to go in the game. Marty Schottenheimer still is probably on pins and needles, Len Dawson, because John Elway's broken his heart.
Well, he's seen it too many times. He's not going to be relieved until there's 3 zeros on that time clock.
Elway, swing pass, left side, Terrell Davis. Moves up the left sideline, trying to get out of bounds, and reaches and does so at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 6 yards.
Got to take the sideline away from him. Take that pattern away and make him throw to the inside. And when you do that, you're able to tackle, and the clock will continue to run.
The Chiefs are also trying to disallow the deep ball, which they've done very well. Brian Washington, the Chiefs played 6 defensive backs really as a base defense in this game.
Yeah, Joe Phillips going out for a rare time, going out Getting Keith Traylor in there to get some fresh legs to get after John Elway.
Most everybody knows it, but Marty Schottenheimer had 2 trips to the Super Bowl taken away by number 7 of the Denver Broncos. He takes the snap now. Back to throw. Throws it the left side. Pass is off the right hand of Anthony Miller. Incomplete. Martin Bayless was in the neighborhood for the Chiefs.
That's another duck that he threw out there that time.
4th down now, Len Dawson. This is the game. 1:48 left to go in the contest. Broncos out of timeouts. They have 4th and 5 at their own 35 with 1:48 left to go in the game. The Chiefs leading 21-7.
This would be a case where John would take a chance in the middle because he must have the first down. Just dump it over the middle, over that line of scrimmage, and pick up the first down, get up, and actually what they should do is call 2 plays in the huddle.
In the snow here in Denver, 4th and 5 at the 35-yard line. They need to make it here. They won't get another snap. They snap it back to Elway in the shotgun. Throws over the middle. Craver with the catch. He's hit short of a first down, I believe. Anthony Davis. Outstanding hit. His shoulder pads into the armpit of Aaron Craver. Kansas City holds on down.
And there it is. He went over the middle because he had to take a chance and open field tackling. I've said that all along here, that the key is hold on to the football when you're on offense and make that sure tackle once the guy makes the reception on defense. Kansas City was able to do that. This was not like last year where, they did win, but it was, the end of the game and all that. They took control of this game in the second half. They controlled the line of scrimmage. Marcus Allen, 22 yards rushing. Fabulous job by the offensive line.
And Len, they handled the elements better than the Broncos did. Snap to Bono, goes to a knee. The Broncos cannot stop the clock. The Chiefs will have to do this at least one more time. But the paperwork is done. They have filed this one away. The Chiefs fans that are here, a couple hundred or so over there chopping on the far side, they have not left. It is snowing, and the Chiefs love the snow.
The Chiefs fans haven't left. There's a lot of them. Look at all the Chiefs fans over there.
Yeah, they're over there chopping, and the team is over there chopping with them. 1:10 left to go in the game, 21-7. How about Marty Schottenheimer winning back-to-back at Mile High Stadium?
They don't want to chop too much. I remember they chased Tony DePardo to the bus one day, and the little Italian was running for his life with those short legs.
Well, a day like today, his mouth would be frozen to the trumpet.
He's blowing it somewhere, baby.
He's blowing that trumpet.
They got to go to a knee one more time, and this game is history.
45 seconds left to go in the game.
And 25 on the clock. So
21-7, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to beat the Denver Broncos. Back-to-back victories in Denver for Kansas City.
It looked like we were going to get home early tonight. The weather does not look good right now. We just had a report that there's delays at the airport.
Oh, boy. Well, right now the Chiefs don't mind. 20 seconds left to go. They go to a knee. This game is over. This game is over. You listen to me closely because most people dream of a white Christmas.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are dreaming of a white bye week at 7-1.
Hey, how about that?
All right, the Chiefs win at 21-7 in Denver. And the Chiefs go 7-1 on this season in the snow here at Mile High. The Chiefs win back-to-back against the Denver Broncos. You're listening to Chiefs Football.